Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the glorious.
Your channel was edited.
There we
Yes.
go. Got it.
Waiting for it.
To the glorious Dungeons of Hades, the ever-growing popular D&D show where a bunch of friends who have absolutely nothing in common get together on Saturday night to play
Nothing.
Dungeons and Dragons. Well, if you think about it, we're a used-to-be butcher, tattoo artist, mechanic, cybersecurity warrior, and a
cook.
couple high schoolers.
Hey, I ain't no high schooler.
Security warrior. Who's that?
Who do you think that is? It's Savannah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sponsored by the U.S. government.
So it's true,
US
we
Army
don't know
soldier.
anything
You're
about each other.
disrespecting a future army soldier.
Great.
Yeah.
Blue recover.
FBI.
must
Been compromised.
Abort. But anyway, come back. Last week, our intrepid group of adventurers found a stowaway as they left Komar and found some of their items began to go missing. They immediately and instantly suspected their new companion, Cat Thief, and also their trickstery warlock companion, John. Both proved to be innocent after much harassment and torture. And then the truth was finally revealed that it was none other than a cute, sneaky little fox who stuck onto their ship, stole their memes, and also their trinkets.
User
They
left your channel.
recovered the fox, their items, and after some newly found druid crafting powers, our monk druid Placidity convinced the fox that it would be better if she was to stay with him in his cabin where it is warmer, drier, and he has ample supply of jerky. The fox, of course, happily agreed, and you guys continued on your merry way. Now, about 6 days into this 3-week voyage. No, 7 days. It was 6 days last time. So, essentially a third of the way through. Rack, you are at the helm of your ship, and on the horizon, there appears to be a storm brewing. Doesn't look bad or terribly, anything that the Great Turtle couldn't handle. But, around this time of year, storms in the Iskandar Sea aren't uncommon. Shoot, a storm in any sea isn't uncommon. And you feel quite well prepared enough that you know what needs to be done.
Davy Jones' locker. I say as I look against out at the sea, viewing the storm from a distance.
And it's pretty far off. You can just start to see the gathering of almost black clouds at the tailing end of the horizon.
And I just want to know, I shout out to the below deck to be prepared for the storm if I'm still in the crow's nest.
Yes, you are. Yes,
I don't know if you would see it. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Oh my. First roll of the night.
Because I'm giving this to Rack because of his naval expertise.
Well,
Can
I'm
I-
in the crow's nest when I know what dark cloud coming towards us would mean.
It could just mean dark
Depends.
clouds.
Depends on a 20 roll.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
I actually forgot to pull up my character sheet. That would probably have been helpful.
What?
It would
Yeah.
have
Come on, we are supposed to be professionals here.
started when we were unprepared.
That's probably like the biggest joke of the night.
I'm
We're
gonna have to-
professionals.
I'm gonna have to go into a rage again against John for recording too early.
Wait, don't you have my character sheet too already, Polo? If you want to
It's not our public chat, so you can roll.
Open new tab. Mythweaver.
Alright, fine, Thea. I will send you a copy of your character sheet.
All you have to do is
Laziness
log
out
into
of
your
the
myth
thing I'm
readers.
saying.
Just
I
have
can't
it
find
bookmarked.
the history for it. I was trying to look for the.
How do you
Bookmark
not
it.
like bookmark it?
I have like a
Write it
folder
on
with
paper,
my
that
links
helps.
in it.
Oh,
No,
right.
he,
Do you mind if I do?
he cleared his history the other night.
Oh, this is a pretty nice character sheet.
Bookmark it.
Can I make a
Oh.
perception? Because I
Alright,
have
yes.
a pretty good perception.
Anybody on deck can make a nature check.
Anybody
nature
make it
check.
because our lookout is not capable of figuring out how to look
I
for it.
have
Who just
even set up.
We
I
are
mean-
doing
Okay, I have a
nature.
+3 of a D20.
You know what?
okay.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna 14. I see it.
You know what? You know what's
14.
great is
I
I've
don't
already
think
Nature.
I've
What's my
already
nature?
given this information, and this is the best part. Is I'm like, your captain already knows, it, and the rest of you are like, what about me? What about me?
Wait, and and there it is. +2. Okay, I was like, where the heck?
Wait a
is the
second. I
nature?
get bonuses to nature. Maybe I filled
Uh,
something out wrong.
Well,
here.
we're just getting rid of the bad rolls quickly.
Yes.
Polo.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Dump all those ones right now.
Yeah.
1, a 2, a 5, and a 7. Off to a
Okay,
great
see what
start.
I.
Hey.
Oh,
And
21.
Elf for the win.
So, Laura, as you step up onto deck, and there is, you hear Rack yelling about something, to Thea up in the crow's nest, who's yelling back to him that she has no idea what he's talking about, and the sky's head look absolutely pristine, and you look off the horizon, and you're like, oh, yeah, there's a storm coming.
Yeah, there's definitely a storm coming.
Yeah, you know. And the rest of you eventually come to the same conclusion as the people who know tell you. And
Well,
it looks like
I'm a
it-
bad crow's.
I'm not gonna trust
Well,
you
my
to look out
job's
for
in
ships
steering,
anymore.
so.
So it looks like, and just I will tell you this, Rack and Alora, just based off of how much of the horizon it covers, it might not be something you're going to be able to steer around. And you have a compass on board, and you have all the navigational tools of the time. Obviously, in the middle of a storm, you can't whip out your sextant and check the star's location. But if you have a compass and can hold a heading on the wheel, you should be okay.
Quick,
So-
Laura, I have a question for you.
Alright, what's your question, right?
Alright, so you're the captain of this ship. What would you do? Just a little quiz here.
Hmm.
You see the storm over there?
Yeah.
Now, what's your course of action?
Well, if we can avoid it, but if not, then we just try our best to keep the ship afloat.
Well,
decision.
You're not
Well-
wrong.
yeah. Yeah.
You see, it's a bit of a hefty course to go around it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and we don't know if it could move towards the direction we're trying to steer to. So,
Right.
what we're gonna do, we're gonna go straight through that thing.
Okay.
We've been through worse storms going to the island of Maru. This
Okay.
is child's play.
Okay.
Don't tell the other crewmate. I want him to be surprised.
Okay, that's fair.
Speaking
All right.
of, am I above deck? Am I just in my room playing with Monet the Fox?
That's up to you.
I'm in my
You
room
rolled
playing with
poorly
Simone
enough
the
that
Fox.
it would make sense that you wouldn't be on deck, but
Yeah, I look out the window and I'm just like, oh, what a beautiful day.
yeah.
I look at Rack and I'm like, so if we steer through this thing, do I get the credit? Because I'm steering the boat.
You're pretty funny, Laura. I'd like to pat you on the shoulder.
The captains take all credit, good and
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Captains take all credit.
Yeah,
Can I at
'cause
least get a
if
percentage
the
of the
boat
credit?
if the boat capsizes, you probably don't want that credit.
Ah, I'll take it. It's
Exactly.
fine.
That's
Be
why the
responsible.
captains go down with their ships.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
This shape ain't leaving if I'm not going with it.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time?
The ship ain't leaving. This one not. Okay. If I'm not going with it, so if it's going, I'm going. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, alright, just
Right?
The
I want
ship
to-
ain't leaving. I'm not going with it.
Wait.
Title of the episode.
No, it's too early. It's too early.
All right. That's a good quote, though.
Yeah, it is. It is a
Alright.
good quote. Write it down, Polo.
Yeah. Oh.
You're the most
Rack
pen and paper over here.
2097 or 1297. Just ain't leaving. I ain't going. All right. So with that,
Your
you
channel
guys
was
spend
edited.
the rest of the kind of the next couple hours essentially battening down the hatches. You see it coming, you know it's coming. You have time to stow everything, make sure things aren't going to get, tossed around, anything fragile getting broken by by hitting an too kind wave, and essentially kind of pull the ship together for the upcoming endeavor. And Rack, kind of judging by as the wind starts to pick up, you might want to go down to essentially like a 16th of the sail. So fold up the back one and have just like a quarter of the first one unfurled to catch just enough wind to keep you going and maneuver if you need to turn into a wave, but not enough to tear the sheet or snap the mast,
Of course.
as that would be pretty bad.
Oh yeah. It's quite a long trip to Cigar as well after the storm.
Yeah. And at half power, it would be even longer.
Yeah. We
Alright,
only got just enough supplies, of course. Just enough.
Is there any other scenes we want to have before we get into some rough waters?
As I'm helping rigging the sail to 16th position, I asked Rack. I said, Captain Rack,
Why, yes, Johnny boy.
do you want us to batten down the hatches?
Absolutely. What do you think? I'm stupid?
I was only asking because that's something that I always hear when I'm on ships during a storm, and I don't want to know what it is.
Obviously, you're battening down the hatches. I get to
Duh.
it.
Pulls out a bat and tosses it. See that hatch over there? Hit it!
Oh man.
All right. I think I'm good. Let's go into these rough waters.
Okay.
Draven, didn't you want to do something?
I wanted to actually check with. I don't know how long it's been since our last session.
It has been essentially a day.
Okay, so my gloves aren't done yet. Okay, cool.
No.
I just want to check.
That's okay.
Oh, so that probably means I'm not over that whole incident from last session.
Probably not.
Is Grumpy Cat still grumpy?
I'm the cute one.
Oh.
Okay. Alright, so with that, under essentially, I say 16th, but if you think about it, it makes sense because you have two masts, two large sails, and you're doing a fourth of one. So I'm sure there's some technical term, and somebody's going to rip me a new one for not knowing it, but I think 16th sail sounds pretty cool. So we're sticking with that until proven otherwise.
I like it. And I'm the captain.
Vegas scored, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to guess, and I'm the boss.
I'm the captain now. So with that, your ship kind of starts to pick up speed as even under just a small amount of canvas, the wind starts to howl as it races and swirls past the great turtle as the nose of the ship. Oh, wow, there's a lot of S's. Nose of the ship starts to drop, rise, and then drop again into the swells. As luckily the current and the waves seem to be in your favor. They're not coming at you in like a cross or side on pattern. So you're doing all the things you should and still being able to maintain the direction you want to go, which is really nice actually. So you get underway. Rack, I would like you to make. Let me look at a character sheet.
So since I'm a cat and I don't like water, I'm probably gonna say before this all happened, I went inside.
Okay. Not
and then
a
I
bad
put
idea.
you back up in the crow's nest to stay there.
Ties you to the crow's nest.
You're gonna do your job, even if it costs you your life.
Just get some rope. Tie yourself to the crow's nest.
Well,
So in
That's gotta
case,
be a pretty strong rope, 'cause it's got
even
claws,
if
don't
we
you?
do capsize,
Hey, we know
you're
some
just
pretty
going
strong
down
rope.
the ship anyway.
Yeah, because it's got the strong rope.
No, I'll retcon that, Thea. You can go inside.
Okay, Rack, I want you to tell me what is higher, your survival or your nature?
Survival.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. Go ahead and roll a survival check with advantage. We'll say this is your navigational skills with the wisdom that you've acquired at sea.
Oh, I got a 21.
All of your training and studies under, oh shit, I don't want to say it because I'm going to say it wrong. Under Jihad, as he mentored you to be the great sea captain that you are.
He made me into this.
Yes, and as you hold the wheel for Jesus, I'm so sorry. Hold the wheel firm in your hand and give directions to your crew as you guys rock and roll through these waves. You feel quite confident that this is nothing. The great turtle has got this, and you do quite well for the first I would say for the first hour.
Mm.
Where is everybody? I'd imagine that anybody that would be strong or dexterous would want to be up in the rigging to keep an eye on that sail.
Okay.
Wait, is that strong or dexterous or strong and dexterous?
I
am
would say
strong but not dexterous.
I'm
I'd say
dexterous.
strong and dexterous.
As the captain,
Okay.
I'm appointing Elora to help.
Okay,
Yeah,
run over there.
I'm not that strong, but I have a high
Yeah.
dex. So
Yeah, my dex is really high.
I need to keep my sneaky pet safe.
Where do you want the
be in-
strongest?
I'll be on the
person?
rigging.
I want you to assist Elora whenever she can. I'll be at the wheel. You'll assist her. You'll
Alright.
be jumping from sail to sail.
Alari, I got you.
All
the,
right,
the
let's do
strong
this.
people wouldn't be bad to have on deck because there's the ropes that essentially change the pitch of the sail. And, you know, if you need somebody to reef on that, you probably want the strength on the deck.
Oh, the strength is here.
Present.
Don't challenge me again, Draku.
So,
Hey,
Placidity,
I'm a
where are
strong
you?
movo.
well, I'm feeling the storm coming, so I wrap up Simone in her little nest, a little blanket. I come up above deck. I see Rack on the captain's wheel, and I say, "Hey, Rack, make sure you firmly grasp it in your hand."
Firmly
Wait,
grasped.
firmly grasp it?
Yeah, firmly grasp it.
Firmly grasp it.
Yep.
This changes everything. I feel this power going into my hands. I would like to go into a rage while commanding the wheel.
Sure, why not?
I'm glad I can inspire you, so.
That's one rage down.
I would
Okay, I
like
have
to
2 left.
rage at navigation. You pull out your compass and aggressively stare at where the needle is pointing. Okay, so you're raging at the helm.
Yeah.
Placidity, what are you doing?
I look around and see where I could be most useful. Perception check, probably?
Sure.
Okay. 5.
Everything looks fine.
I was gonna give it to you anyway, but you, as a monk, and now as you dabble into your other craft, but you're still your highest, your best ability has always been your athletics. And it might look like if things get a little bit rougher, Laura might need your help up in the rigging to keep an eye on that sail, or the other one if it comes unfurled by some incident. And of course, when I say up in the rigging, I don't mean just kind of like free hanging around. You could definitely tie yourself in, so even if you were to like fall, you wouldn't like fall off the ship.
Oof, I would like to do that.
I would
Okay.
also like to do that since I'm on the rigging also.
Okay. I will. You know what? Go ahead and make survival checks.
I would like to tie myself up too, as well. I'm not just gonna swan dive into the ocean.
Okay. Cool.
Let's see. Oh, why is
Survival?
my? I can't see the.
What
Hold
is
on.
my
I have to
survival?
like
That's a good
shrink
question.
my.
We will call survival not
Oh,
tying
what?
because it is under
That is a
wisdom.
4. That's a solid 4.
Plus 70
Wait,
for
wait,
survival,
wait.
That's
man?
still inside though, right?
Oh yeah, I guess your
How
wisdom's
do
super
you?
crazy high.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
there
know,
it is. I was looking for the little slide bar for the thing. Okay, there's mine.
You know, I think this little pretty bow knot will do just fine for me.
Yep. John,
I-
you think about all the knots that you've been tied, or you've been taught in your life, and you're like, huh, timber hitch, taunt line, bowline, what would work? And you're like, I know, a bow. That'll do just fine.
Yes.
Placidity, did you roll, or are you not tying yourself in?
Yeah. I
He rolled a 5.
5. That was my perception. So.
Oh,
That
okay.
was his perception. So
the
survival.
I do
would be
apologize.
Hold on, sorry.
I rolled a
Boom, 21.
14 actually, Lucas, because it's a +7 on my modifier.
Okay, so
And I
you
believe
you
I
and
was-
Allura and Draku, you guys tie yourself in with an adequate knot that you feel like would serve the purpose, and you watch as Placidity walks up, kind of takes scene of what's going on, picks up a rope, and does a one-handed bowline around his waist,
Wow.
and then like sprints up one of the masts.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
Show
You're so
off.
freaking cool, Draku.
I'm not that
no,
way.
that was Placidity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was
But-
Placidity.
Placidity, I'm
thank you.
sorry. I'm sorry.
But thank you.
All right. So as you
Something
guys,
about my moves inspire you to compliment Draku. in
Oh
the
wait,
middle of the story.
wait, did I just hear inspiration?
he's not a
Preach.
bard. That's not how this works.
Not yet, I'm not. No.
That's what
Something
you think,
at
but when we
everything,
get to
good at nothing.
It's like when we get to cigar, I'm a bard.
I'll be every
Nice.
class by the time we get to level 20.
Oh no, not that approach. Okay, so anyway, as you guys roll through the storm, the wind starts to pick up, and the waves start to get a little more intense, and the current beneath the ship changes a bit, as now there's a bit of a cross chop of the swell that comes at the great turtle, and you'll go up and over one wave, crashing down on the other side. And just as the ship starts to recover and grow, and it starts to climb back up the next wave, it'll get sideswiped by another wave from the side on. So as this happens, wood is a truly remarkable building material, as it can give a lot. Unfortunately, for the sanely minded people, when wood flexes, it makes a shit ton of noise. And that is the most terrifying sound that all of you have ever heard, with the exception of Rack, as you literally think the ship is going to rip in two. But this is all just part of how it was built. It is literally the motion of the ocean.
And I'm
And so-
terrified of my heart because I'm inside the ship in this.
Yeah, and it's ricketing and cricketing and making all sorts of other noises. So with that, I would like everybody that was on deck to make a, let's call it a dexterity saving throw, as the
Yay.
ship gets rocked and you all try and hold your post while moving through the swell.
8!
Holy crap.
Wait, where am I? 18.
Wait, that was a bit of a no. That was
Why
not
does it
right.
say 0 successes?
That was
Mid-
I
miss
was messing
crap.
with the advanced roller.
Oh.
15.
What is mine?
I got a 21.
Yeah, 19.
20. Go
Good thing you
Bonot.
tied a good knot.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, you all succeed, with the exception
Woo!
of Placidity.
Ah!
So,
Good thing I
Placidity,
tied a good knot, though.
you did, and that will be your saving grace, because as you kind of check over the various bailing that is holding up the rear sail, keeping it out of harm's way, you do not see this wave coming and are not in position to brace yourself on anything. And all of a sudden, you find what you were holding on to and clinging and crawling along to is now 5 feet away from you as the ship rocks and it leaves you essentially like Wile E. Coyote hanging in midair.
As
And
I
then
float,
gravity
I
takes
say,
over and you start to fall.
huh.
As you fall, though, the unrelenting rain and wind as it rushes over you, and the sensation of falling and seeing the glimpses of the deck and the angry swell below, a memory triggers almost like a flashback.
I have slow fall.
Not quite.
Oh.
But you remember something that you've had in dreams before, but you're not sure if it really happened or if it was just a figment of your imagination. But it started back on Maru as you guys left after Mateu told you about the fate of your mother. And as you fall, you hear this deep cackle in the back of your mind, and you see those red eyes, and you hear this voice say, "You'll be nothing to me, boy." And you feel this hoof that shoves into your chest as you stumble back into a rail that is not quite tall enough to catch your young self as you topple over and you plummet into the sea, looking up as
slowly.
those red eyes stare down at you. And then your rope goes tight and you swing back and crash into the mast
Oof.
aboard the great turtle.
I'm gonna run over there and help pull him up.
Hey, he's hanging from the rigging. He's not
Oh
on the
yeah,
side.
not the side of the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's fine. He just bumped his head as he swung around like a
I
pendulum.
very much thank you, though. My horn didn't happen to get stuck in the side of the ship or anything, did it?
Roll for attack.
Wait, what?
Unarmed strike?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hitting that ship, dang it. 23.
Wow. Ow.
So, with that, you swing once and you bonk your head on the mast. And as the ship rocks the other way, the rope goes tight once again and you start to swing back. And you try and turn to have your back strike first, but you feel an uncomfortable brrr as your body keeps jerking, but your head stays put.
Ow.
As one of your horns gets lodged into the mast.
Ow.
That sounds like that would hurt.
I think to myself as my neck is becoming quickly sore, man, Rack's gonna kill me.
Now he's got a hole in the boat.
Ooh.
I'm focusing on the storm. I'm in my rage, but I'm distracted.
For now.
I don't know what's happened.
For now.
You just heard something bump and you're like,
You
it was
just
nothing. It was
sense
nothing.
something amiss.
It's like the spider senses. It's like my ship, the turtle
Something
senses are
is
tingling.
wrong.
The
Something's
great
not
turtle
quite right with
senses.
the world.
Apollo, I have a question real quick. Did I
Yes.
see all this happen to Placidity?
Yeah, you saw him fall off.
Oh. And I just kind of yell, "You should have tied a bow knot!"
Placidity, you're able to eventually unstick yourself and monkey your way back up to your post. But you can't help but shake that vision, that dream, that whatever it is, it's not leaving. At least not right now.
It settles me a little bit. I'm a little frustrated.
Anyway, the the journey continues as you guys continue to fight through the storm. Looks like it might be clearing up ahead, but it's gonna get a little bit worse before it gets a little bit better as you guys go along, and every time the ship falls down a wave and crashes, you see as the water just sprays off the sides of the ship as it's displacing this huge amounts of the sea, and it's like, washing over the deck. And some of you guys at the front have to fight to keep your footing, but luckily it's not terribly difficult as the front of the ship is, essentially tanks most of it. And as you guys roll through what might be the last big swell on the immediate horizon, once again you get buffeted by one of these cross swells. I would like everybody once again to make another dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
19.
23.
Bonot is the best knot. Bonot is the
Oh,
best knot.
11. That hurts.
I got 8.
I got an
I got
11.
11.
All right, the magic number was 10.
Woo!
Okay.
I'm good to
Everybody except for Rack.
The captain.
Captain
I'm
overboard!
I'm very angry right now.
Very angry.
Focus.
But luckily, since you're raging, I'll give you this. So as the wave, as you guys drop into another one of these valleys between these massive waves, this one that cross-checks the great turtle rolls up over the deck and sweeps you away from the wheel and towards the rail. But you're gonna definitely have a chance to grab the rail as it goes by. So go ahead and make a strength check with advantage because you are raging to try and grab the rail.
Alrighty.
Alright, let's. Ooh, that was
Okay,
good.
already looking good. I did not mean to do
14.
that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop bullying me.
16.
Stop bullying me!
Why are you
Why
bullying
you bullying me? We are so in sync.
Stop out bullying.
So with that, as you
Imagine
you are seeing red at the fact that the sea would disrespect you at the helm of your ship like this, and as you get washed over the side, the swell taking you off your feet over the rail, you reach up with one meaty scaled crocodilian hand and grab onto that rail and stop your fall in an instant. And still, just with one arm, pull yourself back up onto the deck and walk over and resume your post at the wheel like nothing
Like a
happened.
boss.
Now I have a question. Whenever
Yes.
he was holding on, did he scratch the railing of the turtle?
It's a little crunched.
It's a little...
Bit crunchy.
Yeah, but it's his boat.
That's
Yep.
fair.
Yeah, I did it. I feel a bit better.
But I'm gonna need you to make one more check, Rack, because when you let go, the current and the wind, you guys all watch as the wheel just cranks on its own hard to starboard, and the ship starts to list to port as it executes this tight turn, in putting yourself in a very dangerous situation. So you need, Rack, I'm going to need you to make another survival check to get the great turtle out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Believe.
11.
With advantage.
Ooh. Okay.
Mm.
Oh.
23.
Much better.
23.
Yay.
I was like, oh, and his background, he would totally have this at advantage. So you walk up, and the wheel is just, just spinning like mad as you hear the various chains and gears underneath the deck, crane and strain as the rudder goes full to starboard. And you grab the wheel and with all your strength start to fight essentially the force of the ocean pushing against the rudder and bring it back around, and are able to get the ship bow on to the next big oncoming wave. And about 10 minutes later, after some breath holding and some serious butt clenching, you guys clear the worst of it into just some into just rolling swells in the aftermath of this storm.
The silly sea thought it could best me. I was born to ride it.
And as they're coming down the rafters, I just pull the one strand that's holding the entire bow together. I just climb down. It's like bow knot is the best knot.
Title of the video. All right.
And then I start to walk out. Is it over now?
I would imagine that Theo would come up on deck, and you guys are all, a little cold, very soaked, and just kind of frazzled. And Thea looks equally worse from just being knocked around inside her room.
Oh, what about
It's almost like being in a box that was thrown down a mountain.
Oh my gosh.
We look at Thea. What the heck happened to you? You got like ink all over your fur, feathers stuck in your. What happened?
What happened up here? I was just the boat just threw me around everywhere.
Well, we were keeping the boat from
Done yet?
going under the sea. You should have seen what Rack did. He got thrown over the side of the boat and just pulled himself up with one hand.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, but we did see Placidity's horn go into the side of the
I'm casting mending.
Okay.
Sorry, what'd you say, Laura? I didn't hear you.
Nothing.
I go over to the spot next to the boat and I quickly cast mending. Nothing happened.
I was just commenting on how amazing your skills were at pulling yourself back up into the great turtle wreck.
Yeah, I am pretty impressive, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
I'm amazed nothing
Absolutely.
happened to the boat. That was a little rougher than I was expecting.
Yeah, but you handled it perfectly.
Oh, I thank you. I mean, I can't take all the credit. Oh wait, I can. I'm the captain.
Yeah.
Well, alright then.
Hey, Placidity, what you doing over there?
Oh, just buffing out some water damage.
Are you trying to be stealthy about this?
I mean, I'm not necessarily being stealthy, but I'm not exactly trying to get noticed.
Roll sleight of hand.
Alright.
It's like
Perception? Can I roll perception?
Let's see, sleight of hand. Where are you? There you are.
If he rolls below
19.
like yeah.
You don't see anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what
Right?
Skippy. Okay,
There you
Skipper.
Lucas. We said it at the same time.
If I rolled perception, it would have been 24.
Okay.
Just saying.
So you see as this soft glow emits from Placidity's hand as he kind of just waves it gently over the rail where you had essentially a death grip to get yourself back up on the great turtle, and you watch as the wood kind of uncompresses from the stress you put it under, turns green, almost as if it comes back alive, and then fades back to the proper shade, stain, and color that it was before.
Actually, I kind of like the green effect. Can a couple of flowers kind of almost bloom out like a little bit of vine almost?
Yeah, sure.
Heck yeah.
In touch with those druid roots.
Yeah.
Placidity, how did you make trees grow on that?
I'm just in touch with nature, man. All that time on the mountain, I guess.
This is amazing. Placidity, can you do that with this entire deck?
Maybe. It would take a little while. I'd probably need a few days, but yeah,
It would
maybe.
take a long while.
Yeah, it would take a bit. I'd have
Might
to.
take
Okay.
Plank
months.
by plank.
It doesn't have to be much. Just do it. I don't know. I'll
I could
decide
probably
something
do it
later.
to the captain's wheel tomorrow, but I've got to rest and refocus my energy.
I didn't even know you could do this. I thought you could just kill things.
I didn't know either, so surprise to you and me both.
How did you find out that you could do it then?
Something welled up inside me, and I felt like I
Like
could
just
talk
right now,
to the
or
wood.
like just like right now, or like has this happened
I mean,
before?
I've been getting these feelings about other things before. I just felt like if I talked to the wood, it would work. You know,
work?
I don't know. It just came to me.
Okay.
If I talk to
You
the
ever
wood,
you
it
ever
would
get
just
a feeling
came.
like if you ever get a feeling like somebody's watching you and you can't explain why? And
Yes, but usually that means
J-
that someone's hunting me and I'm afraid.
it's just
John just says,
you just know.
yes, every single moment of my life, yes.
I just kind of
like
look over
that.
at John and be like,
You just
okay.
get that feeling like the sixth sense, like it just happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get what
Okay,
you're saying there.
whose phone is going off? That's gotta stop.
Draven's. It's Draven's.
Ravens.
Yeah, that's
You're gonna
fine.
you're gonna have to do something about that.
Oh, I just
Okay.
thought that was John Vorkaiser spewing random magic here and there.
Yes, just Eldritch
sparks
Blast.
That's
every
the
time
sound
it
of-
comes by.
that's the
Rubbing
sound
his
of
magic
blasting.
scent all over my ship.
So I'm gonna go below deck and see if Simone's all right. And then
I thought she came up on deck.
Simone, Fox,
I'm sorry. I thought
you're thinking Thea.
yeah, I thought that would be a good.
I'm gonna go below
Yeah,
deck
anyway.
and see if I need to dry Simone off and probably kind of bring her up on my shoulder above deck after I do that.
So you go below deck and you see a very seasick Zimzalabim as
Oh,
you
poor thing.
pass by his kennel, or his not his kennel, but his little, essentially his hole where he's been
Right, his
chilling this
little-
whole time.
His little place. Yeah.
And he does not look so hot. In fact, there is there's a healthy pile of his breakfast in the corner from
Yeah, right. I
from
feel ya.
rolling
Yep,
over the waves.
Yep. Yep.
And he kind of looks at you with
Aw.
droopy ears and gives you a sad whinny.
Aw.
Oh.
Hold on. Do I have maybe some kind of medicine or some kind of fruit or something in my belongings where maybe I could try and... Well, food probably wouldn't make him feel better at this point. Hold on.
I would
No,
say
no,
if you had some berries on hand, you could try that, but I don't think you do.
Hold on.
I got rid of that ability.
Because of the way druids work, I actually could spawn some good berry. Hold on, let me look this up real quick.
The question is do you have that prepared?
Prepared? No.
So you could do it tomorrow.
I could do it tomorrow.
But he'd probably be
Well,
fine by
in
tomorrow.
that case, I give Zimzalabim a fond little pat on the head and the side of the neck, and I say, I'll be right back. I go to grab Simone and with the intention of coming back to Zimzalabim.
And he kind of lets
And-
out
and a
a
mop.
sad but understanding huff, and kind of tries to catch his bearings. I mean, the sea has calmed down, but it's still rolling, back and forth ever so slightly now.
A little bit better.
But you walk into your cabin or your room, and you try to secure everything as best as you can, but like there's like drawers, and your bed has like jumped and moved around the room, and various other things have slidden, and you see a very shaken little fox who's
Oh.
grabbed every blanket that she could sink her teeth in, and has like pulled it all in a corner and buried herself underneath it.
Oh.
And the only reason why you know she's there is because you can see this vibrant, puffed up, brown and orange tail that is like at full poof. That is just like sticking straight up like a flag out of a hill.
Maximum poof.
I say, oh, you poor little thing. I grab one of my extra cloaks and I put it on and I gesture down to Simone. Come on, girl, let's go up here. And I have her kind of gesture to have her wrap herself around my neck and rest herself on my shoulders with the cloak wrapped around. So you just see my head and a little fox head and a tail poofing out. From my head
And
with the paws.
she doesn't jump to like your to sleep on your shoulders. You kind of like squat down and extend an arm, and she like dives essentially for your armpit, and you kind of like support her with one hand, and she just curls up as tight as she can
Oh.
between your arm and your body,
Oh.
up against your
Oh.
chest.
I grab a couple of blankets, one of the drier ones, and I walk back over to Zalabim. And see S on right here. I go up to Zalabim and I throw a couple of blankets over his back, kind of try to dry him off, and start rubbing on his side. I want to cast Speak with Animals
Okay.
and start talking to Zalabim. Just be like, "Hey, buddy, how you feeling? You doing okay?" Just kind of rub it on him, being gentle, you know.
I don't feel so good, my friend.
I like it.
Okay, buddy. What can I get for you? What'll help you feel better? You think?
Off this ship. Get me off the ship.
Believe you me, we all want to be off the ship. This kind of thing isn't as natural as we're used to.
No, I
We'll be
belong in
there
a
soon.
meadow. This is not where I belong.
We'll be off soon, boy. Just come here, and I kind of rest my head on his side of his neck, and I'm rubbing on him, you know, helping him feel better.
And he
Like a-
kind of like leans a heavy head into you, and just kind of starts to calm down, but is definitely not enjoying this.
Is it possible to cast Animal Friendship and maybe charm him into feeling a little bit better?
That could work.
Let me look at my spell here.
I would say that sitting with him and comforting him would, like you're doing, would probably do the same.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but anything to help him feel better, you know? Yeah, the spell description just... Yeah, I don't think it would probably... Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Okay. And with that, pretty much the rest of the day passes as everybody settles in.
I
Kinda,
want to nonchalantly go back to my room real quick.
you do that.
I would
And-
like
and,
to talk with Diana.
I don't
Okay.
know who...
John first, then we'll
Okay.
do you, Draku.
And then once I open my room, what do I see?
It is like a bomb went off. Like
You-
all
you-
the things
you-
that were like perfectly laid out, you know, to be just ready as you would always have them, are just, you know, tipped over, scattered across the room. You know, nothing's damaged, but it really triggers your OCD.
On the top of the ship, whoever's there, all you hear is "Son of a-" And then
But
I
in German.
sure. I don't know how to say it in German. So
Angry in German.
Angry German.
Isn't it always
Angry
though?
German noises.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was not German. That was my closest thing to German. I'm sorry for if we have any German viewers. Please do not take offense. It's a joke.
I'm triggered.
Okay, but anyways, do I put everything back in place and is every part of everything that I have, everything that I own, everything, including ball bearings and caltrops and so on and so forth?
Oh yeah, there's like
Retained.
ball bearings everywhere.
I had to pick every single one of them up. Do you want me
Yep.
to roll if I can find all of them? Everything? Okay.
I would say over the course of like the next couple of days, like you could probably get it all in like an hour or two. But you're missing some cow traps and some ball bearings, and over like the next couple of days, you find them. Like you almost step on one of the cow traps, but like you're like, I don't remember this wood having this weird splinter looking thing, and then you're like, oh wait a minute, that's not. And
That's
so
that's a very loose nail there looking up on me. Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Hmm.
All right, so we will jump to.
I just want to check with Diana, see if my gloves are done.
And you come downstairs, and in a similar fashion of disheveledment and of a mess, Diana is frantically working, making sure that all of the various experiments, vials, liquids, other alchemical properties and products are in a functional state.
Oh, shit. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. I am going to go help her.
All right, and she's like, I could have swore I had everything put away, but I think that last wave really knocked some stuff loose. It all just started falling all over the place. I have my hands full down here, but I don't think anything's broken. At least not anything important. And your gloves are okay. The shaking and stirring might have actually helped the solution sit in, but I would still give it another day just to be safe.
Okay. And I bow to her and I say thank you and make sure that she's good and I give her a little subtle wink and then leave her to her
Wink.
thing.
Yeah, and she looks to be well off. A bit of a mess, but a functioning mess.
Okay. I just kind of help her get everything organized and carry on. Be cordial, be gentle. Don't bug her too much and
Okay.
politely leave.
All right. So with that, we will go ahead and we will cut, kind of do a little bit of a time jump, and we will fast forward a week as you guys, or as the Great Turtle, for the first time in a long time, turns north after clearing essentially the void between the two peninsulas of the southern portion. Excuse me. Of the Baryaran Empire, as you finally start to head north for Komar, or not Komar, Seagar. We don't want to go back to Komar. But I will say that Rack, you would know, and John would supply this information. Oh no! Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. The magical pills didn't work this time. But John would have told you that based on what you described to him, where the marker was, that he would have said that it sounds like it's closer to where he grew up in for Kaiser Surlo than actually going all the way up to Seagar. And essentially, that city for Kaiser Surlo is like, I'd say about like a 4 days ride south on the peninsula of Seagar.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
And,
do we
if
want
you guys
to?
want to have that scene, I'll let you have it. And also something I just realized, which would be kind of a fun scene to have, is Thea has no idea what you guys are going to.
Oh yeah, we haven't really talked to her.
Well, she's been kind of hiding in the
The slave
crow's
girl.
nest, hasn't she?
We don't speak to
Slaves
slaves.
don't need to know these things.
That's John's business.
But-
If you want
but
the
like,
slave to know.
We're walking on the port right now, right?
Hmm?
We're like like we're all walking like down a port, like the port, like down a
No,
road or
no,
something
you're
like
not
that.
there
Or-
yet.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
we
no.
were parked. Okay.
No.
Sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. I misheard.
If you're looking at the map,
Okay. Okay,
I
I
will
got you.
show you. You guys are like here. You've just
Okay.
rounded the corner, and now you're going northbound.
I'm gonna assume like I have like a map and like me and Rack are looking over a map and
Yeah.
everything like that. It's like So, Rack, you're saying it's about here, right? Because I also have this map that Diana drew me, and I pull out the map that she handed me, or I asked if I could have, really. And
Oh yeah, the map with all the markers on it.
yes. And I was like from what I had the map in my hand to like the bigger scale map, that like the navigational map. Like, so about in this area, correct, Rack?
Yeah.
If we make port south of there, because there's a smaller port town that we can set up there, because that's ran by the locals. If we go there, it only take us about a day or a day and a half ride to get there. And on
I
our way
see.
there, we can go to my estate, or the state that I grew up in.
The Vorkaiser Estate?
Yes.
I've heard of that place, but I haven't been there. I usually tend to stay towards the shores.
Also,
How far inland is it?
It's like I said, from if we go to this port that I've mentioned here, it's only gonna take about a day's
Okay.
ride.
Alright, the port right here. Gotcha. Alright, that sounds good.
And another thing to mention, especially where the area that we're gonna be going in, there needs to be no slavery mentioned. None. Zero.
But
Then why are you taking slaves with you?
No, listen, you don't understand. For the reason being that in the ancient times of the empire, that this place was the centristic of slavery, and it is a very, very, very hateful word here. And if you ever hear a quote unquote of warlord or someone or anyone of high standing having a quote unquote slave, they are going to stone him to death or her to death.
Wow.
Do not do it, please.
So if we want to kill you, all we got to do is just tell them that you have a slave.
To be fair, you guys did ransack my room and think I stole a bunch of shit. So
Which you proved us wrong. You didn't. That we can
Yeah.
find.
We
But
can
it's-
trust you more now that we've invaded your privacy today.
And be fair, he's also invaded your minds multiple times, so
That-
he invaded
that-
your
yeah, so
most
if anything-
personal privacy.
that's a little
Yeah.
bit more fair. That's a little bit more fair.
And here I am. I didn't do any of that good stuff, and you just came in and just.
You've just been taken slave.
To be fair, I did apologize specifically to Thea. I was like, I am sorry.
That's true, yeah.
Alright.
Nope, nobody apologized to John. He didn't deserve it.
Yeah, basically.
I've got to like you a little bit more.
Alright, John, do you know the people around the port here? South side
Yeah,
of the Cedar?
I've been here whenever I was growing up. Like in when I was about 17, 18, I was able to go around here on my own free will.
Okay,
And,
are they trustworthy people?
Yeah, the local folk here are actually like almost more trustworthy than any type of Imperial Guard, because they're just honest farm people. That's all they are.
Gotcha, okay. So I can leave my boat at port and
Yes.
be fine. Okay,
Yes.
excellent.
No one's going to steal it. No one's going to be on it. It is a small port town.
Alright, good. Whew, okay, that sounds good. We can head south, days ride in. Alright. Would they have a place for everyone to stay in?
Well, they have taverns along the road. So if we get there,
good.
and it depends on where we get there. Let's say we get there at the afternoon, and if we leave the next morning at the crack of dawn, we will arrive at the state about a couple hours before dusk.
Okay, okay.
I would say like
What if you
five,
took a horse?
5 or 6.
Well, I was just talking about on
Okay.
foot. I was talking about on foot polo. I wasn't talking about horse.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say about 5 or 6, like a good full day's walk.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you were a horse, like isn't it like 3 hours?
Half the time.
Yeah, half the time.
Alright.
And to be fair, I think I could rent horses pretty easily here.
Are you a rich man, Johnny?
I wouldn't say
Hey,
rich. I think
slaves ain't cheap.
I have a way with the common people. How about that?
So you enter their minds and make them give you the horses.
No.
Have your
Just
way
slay
with
them.
the common people? That's disgusting.
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 All right, all right.
John kind of just rolls up the map and just like, we're gonna talk about this later, and just kind of and goes back to his cabin.
I pat John Vorkaiser on the back. You know we're messing with you. Come on now.
Just like,
So
but
Thea,
like, oh, I'm sorry.
where would you have been for this this exchange?
I'm sorry. I'll probably be where you guys are. Probably creepy in the
Okay,
background.
so in my
Creeping
cabin,
in the
quarters,
background.
over the map.
So go ahead
Awkward.
and
I'll be
make a
awkwardly
perception
We're all
standing
just
quietly.
standing around a lit table looking at a map, and Thea's over there crouched in the shadows.
She's like on a potted plant. Like...
Nah,
from
guessing.
the shadow.
technically, I
Just
kinda
kind of like
lost what
leaves
was
in the
going on.
light.
Okay. Sorry, what'd you
To
say,
be
Q?
honest, I actually was really confused what was actually going on, so I didn't really know where we were.
Our
Okay.
absent-minded rogue.
Roll
I
a
love it. It's
perception
my favorite
check,
thing.
Thea.
Perception.
Huh?
Roll
Oh,
a perception check, Thea.
perception. Let's see.
Is
Got
your
a plus
perception very
1 in
high? I
that.
know you're.
No,
Uh,
perception is a 1.
Ooh. That's interesting.
I was gonna
You
say,
can,
I
you
thought
can hide
perceptions
yourself
are
and not
high
see hidden stuff.
for.
Solid
Hey.
7.
Good enough.
Well,
So-
Oh, a
Silly.
+1. Wow.
You-
I have a
you've
negative
seen
2
maps
What drawing?
before.
modifier, so.
And you
Oh,
have
you mean my coloring?
you
Yeah.
haven't seen
Cool.
too much of world maps outside of the Empire, maps outside of Komar,
Wish I could draw like her.
and who?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh.
said that. Sorry.
I was like, who drew something?
I'm sorry. I forgot. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, also, since I was in the Thieves Guild, wouldn't the Thieves Guild have a map of the layout stuff?
Yeah, no, sure. But what I'm saying is that, unlike today's today's age,
Sonny.
where, if I wanted to, here from the comfort of Portland, Oregon, I could buy a very detailed map of Africa. It would be a bit harder to do in this time. Not impossible. There's certainly cartographers everywhere that have been everywhere, and would have maps of the places they have gone. But it would be a bit trickier to find somebody who has what Rack has, a very detailed nautical chart of essentially all navigable waters.
Very expensive, I imagine, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, and cost, that would be another varying factor. But you look over as you watch this exchange, this plotting, if you will, of your guys' course, and you notice that all Rack's map, while having all labeled navigable water bodies and all major port cities and other ones that he's written in of places that he's found that are like in the middle of the ocean that, as far as you know, didn't exist. You see John pull out a similar map, a bit smaller and with a bit less information, but it has 5 points of interest on it, or 5 circled stars with various, or 5 circles with various scribbled notes next to each one of them in different areas. Some of which are on far off continents that you don't even know the names of. And other ones, the only one that you recognize as one of these circles is over this or near the city of Cigar, which is where you guys are heading.
I look over at Tia and I'm like, that's alright, I don't understand maps either.
Well, that makes both of us.
As I'm leaving, I ask Rack, "Hey, Rack, do you want us to mark the points on your map? The pillar things?"
No, not my map.
Okay.
I use this for other purposes. Diana's map is fine.
Okay. Stick it in my bag and then go back to my
roll
cabin.
it up and put it up on the shelf. All right.
And at
So,
that,
land and
as
port.
you kind of say that, Diana is looking over essentially, well, over John's shoulder because she can't look over yours, Rack. Um, and she turns to Thea, who she noticing the map, and says to you, Thea, I have a pretty good understanding of everyone's dynamic in this group, but you're still a bit of a mystery to me. So tell me, Theophily, have you ever heard of what these markers are that we're looking for?
I believe I do not.
Hmm.
Wait, is my okay? Yeah, my mic's working. Sorry.
Yeah.
It just got really quiet there, so I'm like, wait, did my mic work? Wait, did you hear what I said, or did it not go
Yes,
through?
yes, we heard you.
Okay.
Well, you
Well,
see,
it
we
looks
went
like
to we went to
nope.
an island, and what it showed us was these different monoliths or pillars in various parts of the world. A few of them I was unfamiliar with. It was just a sea of land, and most of them I had seen locations that were directly adjacent to the monoliths, but I had never seen the monoliths themselves before. They must have been a recent appearance. And we're going to go investigate those because each one has some significance to a specific member in this ship.
Except for me.
And I'm
Except for
assuming,
Draco.
except for me too.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
But
Oh.
we're just going out to investigate them, and the closest one to where we came from is in Cigar.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're going to go investigate.
Fun.
Yes.
I love investigating. I love seeing a lot of new things. It's curious.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't knock anything off the table.
Nice.
Took me a second. I was like,
Wait.
what?
Hmm.
I
God.
don't get it, but okay. I'll roll with it.
Um,
It's like she pulls
Your
her
mic.
hand back from like touching the compass and slowly pushing it towards the edge. What do you mean? I'm not pushing anything. Pulls her hand back.
Just have like this yikes face, like.
All right, crew. We shall land in a port south of Cigar.
Now,
Then-
quick question. Do we know where we're going once we get to Cigar?
We're going to Johnny Boy's house.
Old
That'll
Van?
be interesting. Wait, there's more of you?
Do they all read minds?
You just hear John as because he's already walking away. It's like, no, I'm the only one who can use magic. I'm the only one who can read minds. That's just me.
Maybe we'll find normal Vorkaisers.
And then when John's walking away, he's like, I don't think you'll find anyone normal there. And just kind of
Oh,
walks
he's just
away.
saying that.
Wait, is that in comparison to you?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He probably thinks he's
just
normal.
remains silent and goes to his room.
I think we know. Well, I think we all know the answer to that.
I'm kind of scared, guys.
Joke's on
All
you.
right.
It's a house full of paladins. Let's go.
No.
How many days until we land in the port?
That's gonna depend on your next roll, because you have the weather's looking great for at least the next couple days. So depending on how skilled you are behind the wheel, you might be able to make up some time and shorten this last leg. So go ahead and make another survival check with advantage.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Off to a
Okay,
great
advantage.
start.
Thank God for advantage.
Natural one is not how I wanted it.
Natural 1 and a 9.
3 months later, we land in Cigar.
But plus 5. Plus 5.
Well,
that's a
guys, we're
14.
here. We ran out of food, but we're here.
We're all
What
stars
did
after
we
you see
did we get lost in the desert like Moses? What happened?
No.
Oh,
Come
man.
on, John. Don't be ridiculous. The ocean's not a desert. It's
Duh.
wet everywhere.
Undrinkable water? Sure.
It could be
Alright.
distilled.
So 14. How long does that make it?
I'm gonna, cause it was 7 days, cause we fast forwarded a week,
Hmm.
and we had essentially 1 week to go. So I'll say with a 14, you managed to shave off, I'd say a day and a half. So you're gonna
Alright.
pull into port 4 or 5.5 days from now,
Nice.
or yeah, as you find the right currents, get in the right air streams, sleep during the day so you can stay awake at night, and essentially keep the heading, and keep your speed constant. And does anybody want to have any scenes over the next 5.5 days?
Yes.
I would like to check and see if my gauntlets are done.
Oh yes, of course.
All hail the gauntlets.
Okay, so we'll say that you wait a couple more days, trying to be patient and not seem it,
Rushy.
extra needy. Yeah. But finally you go down there, and you kind of poke your head in, and Diana sees you as you walk through the door, and she's got something wrapped up in like this very vibrant, like what would be it, like a royal purple silk cloth. And she sees you and she says, "Oh, I was just gonna go look for you. Perfect timing. Come in, please."
Yes, and I bow and I walk in. I was just I wanted to leave you alone for a few days because I don't want to bug you. I
No,
know
it's
you're smart and you like to do stuff and do it well. I might dumb you down or something.
Oh,
well, that's I don't think flattering is the right word, but I think it's nice. And I don't think you would ever do that. You don't give yourself enough credit, Draku. You're quite a wise man. But
no kidding.
either way, I have a present for you. And she
Ooh.
holds out the bundled package of silk cloth to you.
And I graciously take it from her. I like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like I cross my legs and like squat on the ground, kind of Indian style, while holding it. And then I slowly kind of peel away the silk cloth.
And so before your eyes, as you unfurl this fine cloth, even though you've seen the color, you've seen the solution that they were dipped in, and you've seen the starting product, what lies before you looks very different from the gauntlets that you started with. Now, instead of a true stainless steel finish, the entire metal itself has taken on a bit of a copper tone to it. You know that the metal is probably still the same quality, unless Alora, or not Alora, but Diana is secretly a blacksmith, and has been hiding away a forge and a shitload of cop somewhere under her dress. Who knows? But the new finish resembles something along the lines of bronze, and it
Ooh.
gleams in the soft candlelight, and the light that creeps through from the port windows. And the bronze goes quite nicely with the new, ruddy ironed, maroon belt that now
Oh,
makes up the inside lining of your gauntlets.
oh. I slowly put them on. like eyeballing them, looking them up and down
Uh,
at the fine craftsmanship and the fine time that she took to help make sure that they are pristine and perfect. And once I put them on, I'm looking at my hands, and like I clasp them together, and I look up at her and I say, "They're beautiful."
I'm glad you like them. I did a bit of tweaking to make it a little more comfortable and a bit more form-fitting. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, it's like they're molded to my hands.
That was the intent. I'm glad it worked.
Yes. Even though they are beautiful, they fail in comparison to you.
Shucks. And you see as this kind of unconscious response as her right hand reaches up and kind of starts twirling her blonde locks in a finger, and as her cheeks darken to a couple of shades deeper of scarlet, and she says, "Well, I suppose you wanna try them.
Yes.
Maybe not down here's its place, but I would definitely like to see if all my handiwork paid off."
Yes.
oh, just get a room already.
My gauntlets of no blast might become my gauntlets of blast. And I have this like 5-year-old smile on my face as I look at her.
What?
My gauntlet. Hey, you're not in the room. Shut up.
No, I'm not. But...
I like how while all of this flirting is going on, Laura posted in our chat, Rack and Drake who fan art. Let me have it. What are you, fucking gay?
So like I giddily like turn around and try to haul ass up the stairs so that way I can or out the room, I guess. Yeah, because we're below deck. And I run up on deck. I'm guessing.
It's
well,
about
actually, I
midday.
grab her hand and I don't like yank it out of her socket or anything like that.
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna
"Come on,
say
let's
it would
try."
definitely be like dragging, because she was gonna follow you, but at her leisure pace, not getting dragged up the stairs, which is what happens.
I'm kind of a 5-year-old, and I'm like, okay. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, she kind of like rubs her wrist and like readjusts herself. Yeah, go ahead. I'm dying to see if it works myself.
All right. We'll take it slow. And I kind of rear back and you want me to roll to hit? Or
Yeah.
You want, okay. Ew, it's a 10. It's a 10. Do I hit the water?
Yeah. You do not hit the ship.
Okay.
Good stuff.
And then
And what was that? What was that? Like a blast or a beam?
that was a blast.
Excuse me. Okay, so as this beam emits from your palm and lances out to evaporate some water in the far off distance off the side of the ship, you feel the normal heat and the power and all the things that you feel on your skin when you do this. And you, after you release the charge, you look down and there is a soft glowing on the metal itself of the gauntlets and the cloth. But unlike before, where I mentioned that the cloth, it didn't burn but it charred, this time with whatever Diana did to it, it didn't char either. But it has a bit of a glow to it.
Not hot to the touch or anything.
It is warm.
Warm?
But it's not hot.
I inspected it and I'm like, oh, that looks great. Are you ready for the biggin?
Diana speaks up. One of the side effects, I couldn't make it fireproof and heat resistant. Well, I could, but the issue is that it's going to retain heat a lot better than it used to. So I would dissuade against using it a lot in very rapid succession, you might burn yourself quite poorly, quite
Well,
badly.
the most I would do is two blasts and an energy beam. So let's give the energy beam a try, and then after that we'll let them cool off. Because I could do a blast out of each hand. The energy beam is 2 hands. So let's try the energy beam and see how well it works. What do you say?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know I'd hate for you to get hurt.
Uh-huh.
And I was curious to see how much heat it held in too. I
Ah.
wasn't sure.
Well, here, let me try an energy beam and we'll see how much heat it retains. And a 13.
Alright, you do not hit the ship. And as you cast the energy beam, as you bring it, that's the two-handed one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of put my palms together, my fist together, pull it close to me, and just Kamehameha, and I put my 2 palms together and I point it towards the water and a little bit further away from where we are, and yeah.
So as this lasered beam of light shoots out from your palms, you can instantly start to see as the bronze it has almost the same glow as it did below deck in the soft candlelight. Very vibrant, catching all the light and reflecting it. It has that same effect now, but only in broad daylight. And it looks fantastic, almost like its very own beacon of light. But then you start to feel the heat as it goes from just under comfortably warm to starting to get uncomfortably warm and now hot. And starting to singe your skin a little bit as the beam finishes, and it looks like that glow effect is twofold, almost like a temperature gauge.
Yeah. Oh,
The
so now
brighter
I'm
the
like,
glow, the hotter the gloves.
so I'm a little bit glowy
You're very glowy.
in my palm area.
And there's a slight smell of barbecued skin.
Whew. Oh, that feels good. As I'm clapping my hands together,
there's like smoke and stuff, not coming from the glove, but like the
Right.
inside of the glove, like at your wrist. Like every time you clap together, there's like a puff of like black smoke that poof.
well, I mean, the thing is like my hands are kind of used to this. My hands are kind of used to the heat that comes off of it, but whew, whenever it gets retained by that metal, it makes I'm just over there clapping next to her, like,
It's not too much though, right? Like it's okay. It doesn't burn you too badly.
Yeah, it feels good. Feels a little toasty, but not bad. Yes. I kind of I shake them off and I kind of rest them up on the railing, just a little bit. My hands, and whenever I lift my hands up, are there like 2 like almost burn marks in the wood?
In the wood, yeah.
I'm like, oh shit!
It's like darkened, charred just a little bit.
Oh fuck! Rec. Let's not tell Rec about this. Actually, no, I can't do that. I'll tell him. Oh shit!
Who's making barbecue? Dinner wasn't supposed to be ready yet.
But
You
I am
did.
pleased.
You did magical. You did well. You did super well. Do you by chance have a few pieces of paper or parchment that you can spare?
Well, that depends. I have the magical spellbook kind, but I should have some standard parchment.
Yes, just standard. Nothing fancy. Nothing. No spell enchanted or anything like that. Just regular.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you need it for?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
And I go with her, and she gives me a few pieces of paper. I clasp my hands once they're cool. I clasp my hands around one of her hands after she hands me the paper. I bow to her, give her a little kiss on the hand, and say thank you very much.
You know, those are still quite warm. Are you sure your hands aren't burned or anything?
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I kind of
Okay.
take the glove off a little bit, and I'm like, oh, ugh.
It-
Yeah,
it-
it looks
it's
fine.
it's a bit charred and blistery.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's good. It's perfect. It'll work.
Okay, I'm sure I could do some tweaking with it. But if you're happy with it, then
Well,
that's all that really matters.
what kind of tweaking would you want to do?
Well, I really don't know. Something to deal with the heat, but I don't really have any knowledge of that.
Um,
I don't. I
uh,
know how to make something fireproof, but I don't know how to deal with the heat.
um, uh, well, well, I mean, this will work. This will work. My hands hurt. They're a little bit numb. It's cool, but it's fine. It feels good. It feels good. Yeah.
Okay.
So I kiss her hand. I thank her very much. I bow. And I take her. How many pieces of paper did she give me?
How much did you want? She would have given you as many as you needed.
Like 10 pieces of paper.
Oh yeah, done.
Okay. And as I leave, I go to my room and I try to slowly, over time, because I'm not a very dexterous individual, and I try to origami a rose for her.
Okay. After you let your hands sit in in some water for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I take the gauntlets off.
Yeah.
Because so that way I can have a little bit more dexterous.
You've definitely got some first degree burns over the majority of your hands.
So it's like a sunburn.
Yeah, like a bad one.
What am I gonna do to get these gauntlets to freaking work?
I mean, one of them was comfortable. Two of them was painful.
So I don't want to.
And three of them might be damaging.
I could do like a Kai Blast per each hand, and an energy beam per both of them, or 2 energy beams. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to figure out this heat issue.
Need to get that 55-gallon water cooling system.
Well, and I spend the remaining amount of
The sigh.
Money.
Oh.
I spend the remaining amount of time that we are on the trip to Cigar, in between eating, meditating, training, and whatnot, trying to fold little small origami roses.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll anything to see if I can?
I would, yes. We will call that a dexterity check.
Oh crap! Okay, all right. Okay. Would it be acrobatics? Or
Acrobatics.
That ain't it,
No.
That ain't it, Chief.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Just
Damn it.
dexterity.
Okay, alright. So I got 10 pieces of paper. The first one is an 8.
Okay, we'll jump back to those rolls every once in a while. But the first one you start and you try and grasp for what it would look like, and you find yourself looking at essentially what you tried to do is like roll up the piece of paper to look like an ice cream cone and then crush the open end and try and like crush it in a way that it looked like a flower, but it didn't work to what you wanted it to.
No.
Not quite the right vision you were looking for.
No.
But you keep working on it.
Okay, alright.
And we'll get back to that. Okay,
Yeah.
a couple of, I think all of you said you wanted to have a scene.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
Okay, what? Who's doing what?
I guess I'll go next. I actually do want to talk to Diana again. I did want to talk to her last session. I just kind of got brushed off. But
Oh, that's right. Yes, because we ended.
yep. But it's two things now. Now that I think about it, I kind of poke my head in. I'm gonna assume it's like after Draco's left, but about an hour or so afterwards, and say, yeah, Miss Diana, do you have any in your working between Draco's gauntlets and whatnot, have you made any healing potions?
His gauntlets, I'm quite pleased to say, are done. And healing potions, you will be happy to know. And she pulls out from kind of like under this workspace a rack of what almost looks like something like a vial that's a little bit bigger than like a test tube, if you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a rack of about 6 of them. And she puts this small set of glassware on the table, and all the little vials clink as she sets it down. And you walk up to it and examine it. And inside these vials, there is a dark. There's like a no, it's not red. I'm sorry. It's like a light purple hue with gold flakes that almost seem to have like an electrical charge that leaps between them, like looking at like lightning bolts through purple cloud or not pink clouds, but soft and in the distance as you look inside these swirling tiny vials. They should be done settling by the time we get to our destination.
Okay.
Not settling, brewing. That's the word I'm looking for.
I just kind of like look at him and was like, I can't complain because I still don't know how to do it, even though you've taught me every single day we've been on this ship.
Did that last batch you try and start not procure quite right?
I think it turned a dark blue.
Ooh, blue's not good. You don't drink that, whatever you do.
I wasn't
The only
going
good
to.
blue's a dead blue.
That's right.
Yeah, suck it, blue.
Yeah, second blue.
Sarge, where's the shotgun? But anyways,
Simmons, you may kiss my ass.
Lopez, where are you?
Good times, good times.
And then I kind of like ask her, it's like, yeah, during one of my trainings the other day, I was noticing whenever I was like practicing my magic, like the technique behind it, like is the ways that the magic, like whenever it's being casted or performed, how it's formed, and so on and so forth. Now, I have a request. Could you possibly perform a type of like a type of magical attack or something?
An attack?
Well, of sorts. I want to try something.
Sure.
To just aim it at me, like imagine you're doing whatever spell you want to use at me. I want to try something. And if it doesn't work, and you hit me, I'll be fine. I promise I'll be fine.
Okay. Alright. I'm going to roll something. Alright.
The audible dice roll, the only one.
Mm-hmm. Metal dice, my dudes.
Because we can't roll dice, even though I own so many d20s.
I think I might want to change that rule moving forward. You lot are pretty trustworthy. We have no Jakes running around in here, so we'll revisit that at a later date.
Yay.
But she kind of has this smirk, almost like knowing what's about to happen. And takes a couple steps back from you, raises her left hand, and you start to watch as these shards of ice start to form in her palm and dance around her fingertips as she extends it towards you, and you hear the audible as like many shards of ice shoot out towards you in your general direction, and she has to make an attack roll.
Reaction. I'm going
Okay,
to
what are you
cast
doing?
counter spell.
Okay.
And like I like once I see her like start like casting the spell, I like grab the pommel of my sword, and then I look at her and I say, Oblitius es potentes que sorprentes veretes
You speak
custodio
Spanish
etos
now?
veretes mereces. And in doing that, whenever I'm chanting this over and over again, her spell is like is dissipating into like streaks of blue, of green and white around her hand, for like and the shards dissipate into like to nothing, and it just goes around her hand, and then it slowly goes into the gem of my sword.
And she watches all of this happen as the cantrip fails, and says, that
Where
is
is this all
most
happening?
interesting.
Hopefully not
Assuming her
down.
lab.
Hopefully not in her lab.
Would this
Say-
be happening
Everything.
anywhere where, the other crew members might notice something?
Is there a chance that we could try this again on the deck? Could you do that again, actually? It's
can
been
do
quite
it
some
once
time since
more.
Okay. Well, if you would humor me, and of course I don't want to hurt you, but I haven't quite seen the effects of a spell like that against elemental magic. If you would humor me.
Sure. I kind of just like smile and like in a nervous way. Sure.
But I don't think we should do it down here. If it were to go
I
awry,
wouldn't
it
suggest
might
that either.
Okay. And so now I would say you see the two of them walk up onto the deck, and essentially Diana stands at one side of the ship, you stand at the other, and she gives you one more head tilted look and says, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
And I do that. I draw my sword. And I do not pierce the ship.
Would-
I set it on top of like one of the planks with my
Would,
hands on top of it, like I'm ready for it.
Would Rack or Draku perhaps notice what seems to be a fight happening between Diana
yeah,
and...
definitely.
Oh, I'm running up there.
I mean,
Yeah.
they've like cleared the deck, the space between them. They're like squared up to one another. You're like, and there is a focus, and a wolfish grin that you see on Diana's face that you guys haven't seen before. And John, since you haven't really known her that long, yeah, it could be normal.
Heard stories.
Anyway, she pulls up her right sleeve, and you see the necklace, or not the, oh Jesus, wow, I've already
Bracelet?
screwed it up. The bracelet, thank you, with the three steel balls, and she extends her hand out, palm open, and these steel balls almost separate from whatever binds him together and start to make orbits around the palm of her hand, one going completely perpendicular and the other two going at 45 degrees off to the first one. And they start to go slower, or they go slow, and then they begin to accelerate and orbit faster and faster. And she brings her palm to her chest and closes it as what was before a quick moving orbit has now become just 3 solid rings of light with electrical charge that begins to start sparking off and making contact with whatever it can touch with from around her. And this wolfish grin almost like envelops her entire face as she extends her hand forward and a lightning bolt shoots at you, John.
Do I not get to do I not get to cast it again before she shoots it?
Yeah, you can.
I would like to do that. I have my left hand on the
Take it like
pommel.
a man, no balls.
I put my left hand on the pommel of the sword that is resting on top of the wood, and I have my right hand out as she's casting it, and I kind of say at like almost a shouting voice, "Oblitius esta pietes queso plebres verestes custodier este verembres meses." And when in doing
You
so,
say all that before a lightning bolt hits you?
well, it's like when she's casting it, okay?
Just making sure.
How long does it take to cast though?
Well, it's a reaction.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
while all this is
I'm-
going on,
I'm sure he says it super fast.
Well, no,
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say, I would be.
the way that me and Polo have talked about this move is when I start chanting, like saying the thing, the spell that is the caster is using is dissipating as I'm saying the chant.
Right.
Or
And
maybe like time slows down or something, perhaps.
I don't know. Because it's supposed to like slowly dissipate and then like turn into like a green and white energy around the caster's hand, and then slowly dissipates into my the gem of my sword.
okay. So, as this happens, the lightning bolt starts to lose its neon blue as it leaves her hand and swirls into this green and white that starts to race towards you, John. But then you see Diana raise her left hand,
Oh, crap.
and with a snap of her fingers, she says, "Not today." And the green and white returns into the form of the lightning bolt, and it continues on its path towards you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Jesus
Oh, boy.
Christ, what is this?
It counterspelled your counterspell.
This is
Oh, buddy.
heresy. This is absolute. Can you even do that?
Yep.
I think John Kaiser is calling hacks.
I am.
We can have a talk about this, but to the best of my understanding, as long as 2 people both have their reactions, they can counterspell each other.
Oh wow.
I thought the way that reactions have to work when you're not taking your turn.
We'll look it up for the sake of story. We're saying that this is happening.
Yeah, sure.
Because this shit's awesome.
Some like
kinda-
Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff right
I
here.
know, right?
Yeah,
So
for
it's but even if it dicks someone over,
You've
it's still-
fallen for my
Nat
trap!
20! Nat 20!
No freaking way.
Fight me! The dice are on my side, Lucas.
Yes, that was most fortuitous of you.
Heart of the dice. Heart of the dice.
Nice. Alright. Let me just real quick look up the effects.
I take no damage because I rolled a nat 20. No,
That's
not how
not
it
how
works. That's not how it works at all. I know for sure.
Okay. Alright.
Metagame and pigeon on that one.
Oh, holy Jesus. I forgot about this.
A lot of rolls.
Yeah, because if I remember right, it's 8d8
Like-
or something like that.
It's 8d6.
Ah, I was close.
So, as you see the horror unfolding before your eyes, as the very magic, that, and in the split second, a thought strikes your mind. Counterspell. is from the School of Abjuration Wizards. And that mysterious wolfish grin that was over Diana's face, you began to put two and two together and realize that she is an
A wizard,
abjuration wizard.
And
And
I
this would
just
be her domain of spells.
and do I hear from like the old forgotten one just like for a split second whenever the lightning bolt's coming at me? You done fucked up, boy.
Nope. This has all happened too quick for anything but that thought train and your reactions as you see the green and white fade to neon electric blue as the lightning bolt rematerializes and continues on its path, and you dive as it grazes across your side, and you take 6 points of damage as you GTFOH out of the way and dive to the ground as the clap of thunder that follows and the beam of light that goes 120 feet past you out into the water. And what follows next is silence and a soft chuckle from Diana.
That's my girl right there.
I'm not gonna put that in the character sheet. There's no reason to because John just is kind of just like kind of like not saying anything. He's like not breathing heavily. He just kind of like puts his swords away, just like, kind of like collects himself, gets up, bows to Diana, and leaves very quickly and quietly.
Get out of there, boy.
I'm slow clapping currently.
Well,
And-
I've been out juked by the master.
And Diana kind of turns to you, the rest of you, as you gather on the deck, like all with faces of stunned amazement. And she's like, I hope I didn't hurt his feelings.
Huh.
I think you're okay, Diana.
Me and Simone start laughing.
Well, he is a warlord, and he does demand or deserve a certain amount of respect. But it's been a long time since I've got to play that trick on somebody.
I thought it was excellent.
One of the old classics of an abjuration wizard. Anytime someone new learns the spell, they think they can stop anything. It's quite comical. It's a very powerful spell, don't get me wrong.
I think I can stop anything, but I'm just it's good. It's useful during certain situations. Just
I got this like shit-eating grin on my face. I'm like,
I wasn't saying I was top shit at all. I was only asking to see if I could do it.
I know,
Are you
but
still
she
here,
also,
John,
like,
or did you
No,
go away?
no, I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying
above
in general.
table is what he was on.
Oh, above
Yes.
table. Okay.
Above
I-
table. Yes.
Draku is done slow clapping and just helplessly grinning at Diana because I'm like, she's a badass.
I'm sure I'll get over it. I think I just grazed him, so that was good. I wasn't really aiming to hurt him. I just wanted the surprise factor, and I think I got it.
yeah.
Hey, what you did is you opened him up to the possibility of that possibly happening.
And that's the whole point of the exercise. It's of course a teaching moment. Because the most important thing about fighting a wizard is knowing what he or she can and can't do.
Oh, God, you're so smart.
Well, a little bit of luck and good body language reading never hurts. I think I should check on him. I do feel kind of bad.
He's good.
And she goes below deck to follow wherever you went, John.
I went to my room and I just kind of sitting down there, looking up at the ceiling, just like, well, shit.
and like a couple minutes later, you hear a soft tapping on the door, followed by, "My lord, my deepest apologies."
Um, sorry, I'm trying. My character just he kind of like gets up like from his laying down position and like puts his hand in his face. It's like it's fine. I wasn't trying to. I was only trying to test if it was possible because I thought it was, and I'd never seen anyone do that before. And I was just wondering if it was a way to help protect my comrades in battle.
And it absolutely is. Don't get me wrong. That was not an in vain attempt just to humiliate you, but it is important to know what one's opponent can do as well. But you're right, the spell on its own is very strong, and if you were to say make yours stronger than the other one, you will always win a fight like that.
Okay.
I
Thank-
meant it more as a teaching experience. I hope it didn't come off too poorly.
It's fine. It's just I wasn't expecting it. Was the problem?
It is one of the greatest pranks one can pull at a wizarding school.
Yeah,
Bradbury.
I would have to concur with that one. And I didn't know that you were a wizard of aberration.
That's the craft that my family lineage holds, at least. The idea behind spells of that type is to do just as you originally thought, to protect what one holds dearest, whether it be friends, family, people, places. The tools, the magic, the spells that come with such a title are usually geared to noble tasks. And I'm actually flattered that you've taken up a spell from it. It says a great deal about you. More than I think you realize.
What? How so?
Well, most people who seek magic don't seek it to defend others or make the world a better place. Some might say they do, but then others will pull fireballs or turn oranges into gold or other arcane tricks. There's not a lot of magics that visibly give you a sword in one hand and a shield to defend yourself and your loved ones in the other. And as she says this, she reaches out a hand, and you see a cloud of ethereal purple kind of start to form in her hand, and she gently, kind of like an underhand toss, throws it at you, and it lightly impacts your body and spreads around your torso and almost forms like a chest plate of armor of this ethereal purple as it slowly swirls around you. And she says, "This is the other half of what I can do to defend those close to me and what I care about." And it means a lot that you've taken up some of it.
Above table, she casts mage armor, right?
No, she casts a ward of protection.
Oh, okay. I couldn't
No,
tell.
it's not a ward of protection. If you look in the abjuration class, Diana has an ability where she can give any one of you guys essentially a 10 hit point shield based on
Okay.
her level and intelligence modifier. And she can move it from person to person, and every time she casts a spell within her school, if that shield has taken damage, it will regain health.
Also,
But-
another
Oh.
above table thing. You were right, Lucas. I will forfeit my point upon the reaction. You are right. I double checked in the book.
Yeah, that's why as soon as you said I want to try something on you, I was like,
I want to
I'm-
try something on you.
I was like, I'm willing to bet I know where he's going with this. But yeah, so
Are you all up on my Kool-Aid? I'm just fucking with you.
well, you bullying me. Yeah, but you kind of feel this soft, this cloud that she kind of picks up something on the table. I don't know, like one of your daggers or something, and lightly tosses it at you, and it bounces off this magical purple smoky armor that is now bound around you. It's quite a cool trick, but it's so much more.
Like I nod my head.
I think
and just
you
like,
of all people can appreciate this, my lord, but every spell has its place. And in every right circumstance, everything can be the most powerful tool at your disposal. It's just important to know when to use them.
Hans just nods his head some more.
Well, anyway, I hope I didn't cause you too much embarrassment. And she kind of curtsies a little bit and steps out of your room.
As she's walking out, it's like, no. I caused all the embarrassment to myself.
And she's gone.
And then just like he kind of just thinks to himself, Hanson. Did I say Hanson? No, John. Sorry, John thinks to himself, and he's like, "This is going to be a troublesome adventure, especially whenever we get home, my home." He kind of just closes the door and doesn't come out for the rest of the day. Kind of stays in his room.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
We're folding another flower.
What?
Said
We're trying to
fold
find
Oh,
another
yeah,
flower.
okay, roll dexterity.
Fuck! Okay.
Oof.
Oh,
Another 8. I did the
So-
exact same thing.
You tried it a little different, but it looked the exact same way. Instead of going like hot dog, you went hamburger, and it looks even worse now.
Okay.
The hot dog fold was better.
Alright. Carry on.
Alright.
is
What
it?
would...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it possible that I could catch Draku trying to fold these paper mache flowers? Like if he's in his room or whatever, and I'm like walking by, just going right to my room. Or I guess I wouldn't go down there, but maybe visiting other people or something like that.
Sure, yeah,
Okay. So
that happens.
So I'll just like see him trying to fold something that's on this roll where he's like getting frustrated because he can't get it
Why
to
are you
fold
so
right.
stupid?
I like kind of poke my head. It's like, are you okay, Draco? What are you trying to do?
It was a custom in my village to make something for somebody that you care for. And I am trying to make a flower, but my smartness does not control my hands too well.
Gotcha. Okay.
Spoken like a true gentleman.
You
Okay.
want me? See, you like like. Can I roll another one to see if I do any better this time?
Yeah.
Maybe like I can see if I can show her what I'm trying to.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he
accomplish.
could instruct me.
Show
and
me your
then-
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he could like instruct me, and then with my steady hands, just being a ranger and having to use the bow and everything, maybe I can fold it more. Like, oh, look at that.
So with that, you explain to Alora the significance of this kind of tradition from your village. And as you talk about it, the memories come back. And, at one point you were taught how to do this, of course, and you've done it for various people. But
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
A really long time ago.
But as you start to explain the process and the feeling and emotion behind it, you start to remember. And this one comes out looking pretty damn good.
Awesome.
A paper mache flower.
A 15 roll compared to an 8. So I kind of show her a little bit. I'm like, see, this is what it's supposed to look like, but my stupid
wow.
hands mess it up.
Well, it did mess this one up, so you did a good job.
You think Diana will like it?
I think she would love it. Can you teach me how to do that sometime?
I will try.
Okay, that'd be great. But yeah, I think you should definitely go give it to her. I think she will absolutely love it.
I'm gonna wait until the time is right.
Yeah, I think
But I
that'd be good.
And then yeah. So I now have 7 pieces of paper.
Yep.
And
one halfway decent paper mache flower.
do I write that? I'm gonna write that on my character sheet.
Might as well. You made it.
7.
Skills
You bought
origami.
it.
Or skills origami.
Alright, is anybody else doing anything else, or do we want to cut ahead to when we make landfall?
I think I'm good.
Cut ahead. Cut ahead.
How do you
Thea,
spell
Blink,
origami?
or Thea, Placidity?
It's
Type it out.
Oragami. Origami.
There you go.
It's all full.
I thought that said Oreogami. I'm like, that's not how you spell it.
Yeah. Oh, it's with an E, not an A.
Gosh.
Yeah, because I tried to spell check on
Ori.
my character sheet and I got let's see here.
Origami.
I got what I typed out in orgasmic. So I think I spelled it wrong. So
I thought you meant Wumbo.
there we go.
You, Wumbo. Wumbo.
I Wumbo, he Wumbo,
Wumbo,
we,
he,
she,
she,
Wumbo.
My gosh.
Lead.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
can Rack do that?
Anybody that's like, oh shoot, even my fun tangent,
no,
like
I missed this
anybody
one.
I would say under 50 should know what SpongeBob is, because
Yeah.
when I grew up, my dad watched it with me and my sister.
My mom did too.
Oh,
The
heck
lid.
yeah.
The lid. The
Shoot,
lid.
my
the
me
lid,
and
the
my
lid.
dad,
The lid.
like, we speak to each other in SpongeBob quotes. It's fantastic.
Well,
Anyway.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're saying.
I've
okay,
never
anyway,
been a SpongeBob fan.
That could be
Oh, I'm sorry
a
for your
whole
loss.
Oh, no.
other episode. Oh, that could be a good spin-off episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Bikini Bottom D&D.
Under the sea.
Ooh,
Under
April
the
Fools. We should
sea.
do that.
Yep. Okay, here we go. All right, back to the overworld, and we will cut to 5.5 days later, as the winds deliver thee upon the beautiful shores, excuse me, of the eastern side of the empire. And as John, as you kind of lean over the rails looking at what is your homeland, the port town, which is technically part of Vorkaiser Surlo, but it's more of just a transition from sea to land. Really all it is. There's the basic necessities, and one might say it is, by definition, a little town. or a small village, but it's mostly just the dock and the means to resupply and offload and unload ships passing by. But it's fairly fairly quiet. There's a few various merchant vessels and a couple imperial fast couriers, either in dock or floating outshore, just keeping an eye on things. Nothing out of the ordinary. But as you navigate the Great Turtle to its mooring in the dock, tire up and exchange a bit of gold for safekeeping with the harbor master of this particular village, and offload one very excited horse and all the other things you guys need for a bit of a road trek. Welcome to Vorkaiser Surlo.
Woohoo!
I've never been
Sweet.
here before. Place is pretty cool.
Whenever the harbor master is there, I ask him, where can we go? Where was it that we need to direct ourselves to go rent horses for? I'm gonna assume tomorrow, because I'm gonna assume it's close to like what is it, like noon right now? 1 o'clock?
Midday. So about like 2.
2. And when is dusk?
Mm,
About
well,
6
I mean,
or
you
7.
could always ride into the night,
Yeah.
but I would say dusk would be probably be about 7, since we're starting to dip into winter. No, it'd be sooner. It'd be like 6.
But you said we're like in February.
Yeah, we're in the heart of winter. I don't know about you guys, but it's snowing outside.
Remember, this is we are near the equator, my dude.
Yeah.
The way the solar system works in Lucas's campaign is the outside edges of the world are actually the hot ones. Inside is cold.
That makes
What
no
is that?
sense. That doesn't make sense.
That's how the solar system works. You just got to get used to it.
No, okay, look, I'm clearly not up on my planetary science. So it's winter, so therefore it should get darker earlier. Damn it!
But just what I'm saying. Since
Even
you're
if the
close-
weather's nicer, because
No,
we're on the equator.
I'm saying if you're closer to the equator, like towards the middle, never mind. I'll explain science later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bruh.
I used to live near
I think
the
we
Yeah,
know what
bro.
science is.
You
don't have
you
to
are
berate
you are
us, John.
you are the game master. I will not deny your logic at the moment.
Look, I'm
Point
trying to
yourself.
just keep it sound
Chump.
and simple here. If we
Fine,
want to get
fine.
into planetary physics, we can get to some motherfucking planetary physics.
We'll have
He
to start a
does,
different
play, he
recording.
does play space engineer, so you can't get on him.
Ooh,
I will
he's
have
an
you
expert.
know,
He
He's
knows
an
what he's
expert.
talking
I am not a mech jeb using scrub. Thank you very much.
Okay, but anyways, does he direct us to the?
Yes, he directs you to a stable that is kind of just on the very. Oh no! Excuse me. Sorry. On just the very edge of this little town. In fact, like he points and you can see it.
Okay.
It's just down the road.
I say, do you guys want to go to the stable so we can get the horses so we can leave?
Sure.
You guys do that. I wanna talk to the harbor master real quick.
Okay.
I'll catch up.
Go to the
Okay,
stables.
so we'll start.
Okay.
We'll start with you, Rack.
All right. So I approached the harbor master after I had already given them the gold and turned away, but I came
Well,
back.
Actually, we should probably have this discussion now about the cost, because he asks
Okay.
you how long do you want to keep your ship here?
Okay. How long do you think we'll be taking?
What?
I mean,
4 days? A week?
oh,
Let's just say
probably
we-
safe to just
If it
just
takes
say
like
a
a
week,
day and a half to get to John's place, then
and then a day and a half back.
of
3
course
days.
that's on foot. We'll only be like half a day. But
Gotcha. Okay.
let's just say a week.
And Diana kind of like butts into the conversation and says, "We also do have to find this down too. We might be in the backcountry for some time.
True.
I'll do 2 weeks. Does that sound good, guys?
We can always come back and pay more if we need to, right?
Yeah.
It's like filling a meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, somebody go back a shitload of times. And so he kind of gets out a little pen and quill. Says, all right, 2 weeks. That'll be. We'll call that 250 gold for 2 weeks.
That's some bull crap right there. I know when I'm being swindled, sir, buddy boy.
Okay, well, like, I kind of, like, put my hand in front of Rack, like, wait, I'm not there, shit. Never mind, I'm not there.
Well, no, this is all before you left
Oh,
the
yeah,
stables.
thank God.
I would
we were
say this is
discussing the cost.
all simultaneously.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
pause, like, Rack real quick. I just, like, good sir. Now, in general, if I were to use...
Yes.
yes, I hate what I'm about to say.
Are you
Could
about
I-
to pull some Tom Voller
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't. I kind of I'm wearing like my travel cloak right now. I kind of take off I kind of like undo it to where he can see like my the symbol on
Ooh.
my leather plate
Sure.
or leather. And it's
Is
like
that what you call it?
it's like I am. Hey, at least I'm not like Rack. Flexing
Give me
on
that
orcs.
fan art.
Flexing on them godforsaken orcs. And I say, good sir, is there any way we can have the price reduced?
Well, you just open your shirt and you think
yeah.
that's
So
gonna be it?
you're kind of
No.
showing the symbol.
Yeah, and like it's like I'm
Flexing
pardon.
a little bit.
Okay.
No, I'm not flexing, I'm not-
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Yay! Advantage. What is my persuasion? Ooh, that's. I mistyped. I mistyped. What? What? Oh. Apparently, I've forgotten how to roll dice. Okay, first one's an 18. Second one's an 8. I will take the 18.
Oh my.
I will take the 18.
So with that, you kind of pull the side to your cloak, and you kind of like drop your head to kind of gesture his attention. He looks at the symbol, and his eyes instantly recognize it. And then like he eyes the symbol, eyes you, eyes the symbol, and like his eyes start to go wide, and he drops down on one knee, and he says, "My lord, I'm so sorry. I wasn't aware that we were expecting you home so soon." Of course, I
I kind of mutter in the back of the group to under my breath. Gosh, is this guy a slave too?
Dude, listen to me. Don't talk about that.
I speak
Yeah,
against
that's
it.
really bad.
I kind of like I kneel down on his level. It's like it's fine. We're under orders from the emperor. We have to do something very important.
Oh well,
So-
very well, sir. The cost is more for just the space the ship takes up. It is not meant to be an insult in any sort of
Yeah,
way.
I completely understand. You're just doing your job.
Of course, the lowest I could go, and this is what we have done with your family in the past is 100 gold for 2 weeks.
All right, how many party members are here? Let's see. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 100. 15, 16. All right, everyone. 16 gold apiece. And a couple people do
All right,
17.
That's a bit more reasonable.
And Diana would fish out 16.
I'll do 17.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll do
Diana's,
17.
I didn't even think about Diana.
Well-
Then we gotta re-divvy the gold real quick.
Hold on. Let's see.
Quick
How,
math.
how much
4,
is it?
5, 6, 7, 7 into 100. So 10, 11, 12.
12 gold now.
Screw it. You guys just do 10. I'll do 30.
What?
Sign in again.
How? What kind of math are you coming up with, man?
There's 7 times. Hold on.
Okay, 100 divided by 7. Everybody
We-
needs
we
to give
suck at
14
this.
gold pieces except for one person.
How much?
14 a piece except one person needs to get 15.
All right,
I'll give 15.
Okay.
Alright. My computer's being stupid. Well,
That's-
it's
There
not
we
being
go.
stupid. I just
I hand my
got
portion over
logged out
to
again.
Yeah, same.
Jean Vorkaiser.
I do the same.
I'm down 16.
Okay. It's like
And I'll be doing the same too. What was it? 14, right?
14, yeah.
yep. I feel like I'm collecting taxes here. Just
I'm sure you're quite used to it, aren't you?
That was a low blow, and that wasn't even in character. That was out of character. It's
That's a bit of a zinger there.
It was.
Yeah.
I present the taxes to the the harbor masters.
It was 14, right? Just one more time.
Yes, 14.
Okay. Okay. You're doing
I'm
the
sorry
math
for
right.
the inconvenience, my lord. I would. Welcome home, of course. And we will see to it that your ship is well watched and taken care of while you're in town visiting. Hopefully to stay for a little longer than 2 weeks, I would hope.
It all depends on what we find.
Very well then, my lord.
Mm.
That'd be another 200 gold for weeks. He just wants your money.
So I was like,
That's
I
kind of
just
how
kind
the
of.
economy works.
I just kind of say, fuck it. I just like in my head, I say, fuck it. I take off my traveler's clothes. And I just I'm just wearing my leather suit of armor.
Will you take off your clothes except for your
No,
leather?
no, like the
It's
traveler's
getting
cloak
cotton.
that I have that's
Take
covering
off
it.
your
Okay,
clothes.
okay. So
He's-
you essentially just drop the disguise.
Yeah, just like it's like I get put it in the bag. Just like
Hmm.
this is just okay. Now we got to go to the stables. And then Zabrak can do his thing.
All right, Master. What can I? Is there a name I can call you? What's your name, buddy?
Name's Darius.
Darius, eh? Listen, I'm not asking for anything. I just got a question for you. I'm not looking for profit or anything. I just need information.
Okay,
Have you seen a bright, almost like a golden ship? It's about the size of the ship I brought you, but a little larger. A lot brighter looking. And it's got engraved on the side Jihad's. Have you seen that come through lately? Has it docked here before?
I can't say I've personally seen it, but we had a couple months back, if my memory serves me correctly, there was a crotchety old bunch of fishermen that came back in and said they saw the god ugliest thing they'd ever seen that floated on water. That might have fit the description you gave me, but
Sounds about right.
I'm sure they meant no harm by it.
No, of course, no. It does look awful.
Oh,
It's
beauty is in the eye of the beholder, especially at sea.
What beholders?
Yeah. All right. Well,
Don't
that's all
I
talk
love
about
how
holders.
any
now.
D&D
You-
player, as soon as that phrase is dropped, they're like, "Wait a minute, wait one fucking minute."
Don't talk about beholders. I have seen a party wipe because of one. don't don't talk about beholders.
Everybody just went to red alert.
You know, it's like whole battle stations.
Shields up, red alert.
Cast
I'm
all the
lost.
magic.
Yep, all the magic.
Every magic must be cast.
Alright.
I'm kind of a complete loss right now on above table. Right here.
If you
Oh,
find out what a beholder
I'll-
is, then
Look it up, and then
Dang.
we'll talk.
Okay.
You will be scared.
It's a lot of fun.
All
And
right,
if you have a really good
alright.
DM, it is terrifying.
Oh, just wait till you fight a lich. Oh my god.
Holder D and D.
Oh wait, let's continue.
Yeah. Anyway,
So-
we'll have that
Sure.
discussion later.
Sir Darius, is
Um,
there anyone in town that might know more about it? Maybe I could talk to some fishermen.
I don't think those particular lot are here. I think they're back out to sea. But I don't know if there would be anybody in town that would know. I mean, you
Alright.
could always ask around. I have been known to be wrong before, but who knows?
All right. Well, I appreciate it. I was just curious.
No problem.
Anyway, thank you for looking after my ship. I'm sorry for my crassness. It's been a long few weeks.
Hey, we're all men of the sea here. I understand.
Aye.
That we are. Our. Anyway, I'll take my leave. I'll see you later, Darius.
Take care. Safe travels.
All right, and I leave to catch up with all you guys.
Oh, beer holder.
It's not a beer holder. It's a ball holder.
It took me a second. I was like, what?
Hold up.
The
what?
greatest monster.
A beer holder.
The beer holder.
Keeping your dreams cool.
In the eyes of the beer holder.
I typed in the holder for D&D and it showed up beer
What does that?
holders.
What does that look like? Like a beer holder?
It's a beholder with a wife beater on and a beard.
Uh,
Coors Light hanging off of one of the tentacles.
A cooler slide in
these
every
things.
eye stalk.
That's the
A beer holder has an armor class of 14, hit point of 70, the speed is 0 feet, flies 20 feet, hover, strength
Ew.
is 10, dex is 14.
What is it called?
Beer holder.
I don't think that's what
It's
it's
not
called.
a beer holder.
I really don't.
Okay, guys, just calm down. Just calm down.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Let's try. Okay,
Okay.
I'm
Anyway.
putting it in Snapchat.
here we go. I'm gonna put this
Dimsal
in the
So you
chat here.
guys all gather your stuff, your horse, and you kind of walk across the town to essentially like the road that leads off to Vorkaiserserlo proper. Essentially, essentially the full day travel.
I want to actually have a little scene with the stables real quick.
Sure. Well, yeah, I
Oh,
Figured
I'm
that's
sorry.
what
I thought you were like fast forward.
No,
We already got
no,
that.
we're good,
I'm
we're good.
sorry.
all in good time.
Well, like walk up to is like, who's the owner of the stables?
Oh, that would be Unmere.
Oh my god. I was not ready for that. Okay, good sir. What is your name?
I am Franz Ferdinand. What can I do for you today?
I'm going to need I'm going to need 3 riding horses, and I'm going to also need I look at Rack real quick, and I look back at the horses. I look back at Rack again. It's like I'm going to also need a Clydesdale horse for our
Oh yeah. Oh, I see you for the big one over there.
Yeah.
Yes, that will definitely need to be the big horse.
Hey, I'm just fluffy.
It is no lick on you, big man. You.
You could raise mini barns. Mini barns.
What the? What the?
Ah.
Kind of life
And
are
the
you
guy
used to?
Franz looks at you and says, you could probably do it sole-handed too.
Yeah.
The heck are you people?
I lean over to Placidity. Is this some kind of like secret language that they know over here? I haven't
I'm
been to this
honestly
side.
not sure, my friend. Let's watch them closely.
Uh,
They seem to know John pretty well.
Then I switched to the draconic real quick. It's like well the I can't do it right now. As the difference between the accent that I use when I usually talk to you guys and when I talk with him is when I talk with him it's more of an informal way of talking. This is a more formal way in the sense of that
What the
it's
crap are you saying?
just
he's
never
talking to you.
mind.
He really is
I
speaking
got
a
you.
secret language.
I got you, Johnny boy.
So, will it
You
just
understood
be
that?
und horses for you?
Yeah. That was draconic.
Yeah, it was, how much
That was
damage
zero.
is going
Okay,
to
that
cast?
explains it.
Let me think here. If did you say try regular horses?
Yes,
And I'm the Clydesdale.
Einsteins Flitz. Flitz Vega horses and uns Kleinsdale.
Very good. Okay.
Da is
Da-
German, fight me.
Huh?
Da is German, fight me. Apparently Da is now yes in German. Okay,
Oh
according
no,
to
shit!
Okay.
That was Russian. I know that. My bad.
It is
Whoopsies.
it's either jawohl or ja.
Yeah. That's right. How could I forget?
Yeah.
Yeah, how could you forget?
I'm literally disgracing my ancestors.
Congratulations, your ancestors have disowned you.
Nice. And my family, and my cow, and all the other stuff. Anyway, yeah, for the regular horses, it would be about, I say the going rate is 25 gold a horse, and for the Clydesdale, it is a bit bigger of horse, so 30 gold pieces.
Was this buying the horses or renting the horses?
Oh, well, you did not say if you wanted to rent or buy.
This is renting.
Ah, yeah, very well. Well, how long do you expect to be renting the horses?
For at least 2 weeks, because we have to at least 2 weeks.
So for the renting of the horses, there is a small deposit, which is of course returned upon what's the word? Returned upon the return of the beast. To of course
Gotcha.
ensure their well keeping and safety. And the rental fee is 10 gold or 5 gold for a week, so 2 gold or 10 gold for 2 weeks, and with a deposit of the 100 gold for the all 5 horses.
So okay. I'll look at my bag and I kind of look around and I'm just like, okay, you said it's 10 gold for the 2 weeks, correct?
It is 10 gold per horse for 2 weeks.
Oh,
The 50 gold with a deposit of
Okay.
100.
So each person can pay for their own horse.
Or we could have 2 people on 1 horse.
I say, John and Thea share a horse.
Laura can ride with me if Zimzalbim's up for it.
Well, Zimzalbean loves me, so.
What's that?
Please.
Because also doing
Raikou,
that would save us money,
and
so.
Rake and Draku are gonna ride the Clydesdale.
I need my
That
own
would
horse,
be
man.
too much beef.
Yeah,
for
that would be-
even
I
a
don't think
Clydesdale.
that it could. No mere mortal could support that.
I was about to say that
That's a
is-
lot of meat.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say like that is the largest horse in
It's
all.
it's got to support 325 pounds of me alone.
I think it can
That's
do
all you
that.
weigh?
Then
It can pull like I think
Yeah.
a 30
It-
30-foot plow by itself. No.
Yeah, but that's not weight down on its spine. That's
Oh, that's fair.
there's a
That's fair.
different force at
That's
play here.
yeah, that's fair.
So we're
I
gonna
mean,
need
I
a total
could
of
pull
3
a
horses.
car, but I can't carry a car on my shoulder.
yeah. All right.
So we're gonna need like 3 horses then?
Or
One for-
or we could just
or-
rent a Clydesdale and rent a cart.
That could work too.
Well, what if
I
we get
mean,
into trouble and we
between-
have to run away? A carriage won't really do a whole lot if we need
That's
to make a
true.
quick escape.
Oh yeah, horses
Well-
are much better in that regard.
So this is if you really want to weigh out it, we can do 2 people per horse, and then the I'm not at my computer right now, so I
But
can't
if,
see your
if
guys'
we
names.
do
We'd
that,
only be-
if we do that, we're only knocking one horse out of the equation.
Well, because
2 horses, because
Two
what
horses.
you
No,
guys
one,
could do
one horse.
is
because
everybody
Draku has to
level
have his
up-
own horse.
everybody double up except for Rack because he is the heaviest and largest, and throw him on the Clydesdale. And
But then what's Draku's gonna
throw
ride? What's Draku
well
gonna
throw
ride?
Thea and Draku together since Thea weighs what like 80
okay.
pounds soaking wet.
Diana can ride with me.
And then we gotta account for Diana and me because so we need two riding horses.
Yeah, Diana and John can ride together, and then Placidity and Laura can ride together.
Diana and Draku.
Okay, I don't care. It doesn't matter. But we
Damn
we
it.
have to have a Clydesdale and 2 riding horses because we don't. Who is
Yeah, but
drinking?
Diana has to ride with Draku.
Yes, I don't care.
That's me.
Sure, it's fine.
All right. Anyways, me and Diana ride together.
Right.
Link, Placebo, and Mash ride together.
Yeah, you know what?
And
You know what?
John
May
and
I
Thea ride together.
recommend
We all
that
go
if,
wherever.
you, and he points to you, Draku, and Diana, are going to be, say, getting in the saddle. You might want a bigger horse.
I'll buy
sorry,
a
what?
Clydesdale. I'll rent a Clydesdale for me. Jesus.
No, okay. This is the easiest way
Hey,
to do it.
I only
Just-
looked for the best interest of my horses. You must understand.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay,
Baddies.
so how much does a Clydesdale
Wait,
count
there's bigger
cost
horses?
for 2 weeks?
Diana ain't no
I'm
little
kidding.
twig.
How much does the Clydesdale cost for 2 weeks?
It is 15. A
15
little bit
gold.
more.
I will pay the 15 gold.
Okay. Rack, are you gonna divvy out your own 15 gold?
You betcha.
I'll divvy out 15 gold.
You know, I heard of that wake up thing. I'm still here. I can still talk to you guys. Even though I'm away from my computer.
Oh, whoops.
I mean, we didn't say you couldn't talk to us.
Okay,
Well, I just
15.
heard a hey, wake up. I'm like, I can still talk to you guys. I'm just not on my computer.
Oh.
Now
All
I'm
right,
going back to my computer.
Okay, and I was like, and I'm gonna also fork over the $100 gold deposit.
Really? You're gonna cover that?
Yep.
All right. Very well. Is there
All right.
anything else I could do to assist you today?
No, thank you. Your services has been good enough, and like I kind of bow to them.
Very well then. Good night then. It was a pleasure to meet you all, and safe travels. And do bring my horses back in one piece, please.
Will do, comrade. I get on the horse.
Comrade.
No, comrade. That is a word in the German.
No, we heard what you
Oh,
said.
okay, gotcha. I thought you said nothing.
No, I'm not part of the United
Do you
Sky
see a
Rangers.
red star on my forehead? No!
No, I'm just slightly socialist because I'm a fascist. I'm a
Alright.
national socialist.
That's what I'm talking about. If anybody's played Secret Hitler out there, fascists always win.
Anyways, I get on the horse and I help the Tia, not Tia. That's not Thea.
Yeah.
Thea on the horse, and I'm like waiting for everyone to get ready.
Mount up.
Time
Okay.
to nut up or shut up.
All right. I dropped 15 gold, right?
Yep.
Again.
Oh wait, I get to add. I don't.
I got a quick question. If we're
Yeah.
sharing horses, is only one person buying the horse to share the two?
Well, I mean, you could split it between the two.
Oh yeah, it's just 10, isn't it, or is it 15?
It's 15
I cover
if
mine
you're a
and
Clydesdale.
Oh,
Correct.
gotcha.
You gotta have a Clydesdale.
Oh yeah,
I know. And
yeah.
it was
I
15.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pitched out the 15.
Okay, I pitched out 10 plus the deposit. Okay, then like they're all
Okay.
saddled up and everything and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does that mean I should move 5 gold for mine or not?
No, I covered the 10. It's fine.
Okay.
What a sweetheart.
Well, thank you.
Pays for his slaves.
Gotta be careful. Make sure he's not listening. 'Cause we don't want to kill each other.
That sigh. Like, I live for that sigh.
It kills me every time because everything I say gets used against me, which is fair. It's completely fair. And like, but anyways, everyone's ready, and so I just like I kind of whisper to Thea, I would hold it on if I were you.
Oh.
And then
You would do what?
I'll
Hold
hold on.
Hold on.
Because and then I kind of kick the ribs of the horse and I head off in almost a sprint, but yet not a sprint. I don't know what to call that.
A trot.
A trot. Yes, thank you. I'm bad.
Because there's a gallop, which is the equivalent to a sprint, and then a trot is like half speed. But there could be a quick trot.
in between, like quick trot.
So it's a fast trot.
Yeah. Towards the way that I know.
Because a trot is still where you can comfortably sit. A gallop is when you're getting bucked all over the place.
No, this is a quick trot. Like I'm kind of. Let's go.
You don't have to stand up in the stirrups yet to avoid getting your ass smashed by the back of the horse.
Horse ass smashing. Name of the
title of the episode.
Horse ass smashing.
Hashtag Kenneth Pinion.
Oof.
Anyways.
That's gonna look great. Episode 7, horse ass smashing. Everybody's like, what?
But it's not.
We've had a few good
Whenever we
one-liners.
say, wherever we put in title, it's not gonna be ass smashing. It's smashing.
Ass
Ass
smashing.
smashing. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
But Lucas, would you like to describe the scenery that we have whenever we're going through to the manor?
Sure. So you all mount or get on your various mounts
Oh.
and start to oh boy. And start trotting off to the west, heading inland. And the weather here is nice, even though it was very much winter when you guys left Vorbelsollen and it's not like the dry desert of Komar. The air is a bit moisturous. It's not like humid like it is in the southern US. It's a comfortable humid. And it's cool as you guys essentially ride into the setting sun as you are heading west.
Hey Lucas, if I
As
might ask, what's growing in the fields right now?
Oh dear gosh.
yes, I'm glad you asked. So the terrain is kind of, I hesitate to say swampy. It's more of a marsh than anything else. I mean, there's still, it's still like a bit of a forest, but off the beaten path, the ground is rather squishy, with mud and variously deep puddles. But as you kind of break through the tree line and the land really flattens out, you can see field after field of sunken terrain of cranberry bog as you guys trot on down the path, passing a little creek that's been dammed off and has various canals and irrigation channels that have been dug to flood these various bogs when it's time to be harvested. And as you pass by some of them look like they're just about to be flooded, or at least you can see, thousands upon thousands of, plump red berries at the bottom. Others where they are flooded and there's thousands upon thousands of floating red berries. And then various other ones that are in different states of growth. As you trot along, and it looks like cranberries and what's the name? It's rice, but I can't remember what it's called.
Nice.
No,
Quinoa.
okay, for all you people who live in the South, it's grown there. Like when the Mississippi floods,
Cotton.
you grow that shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got you.
I can't think of the name.
Cottonweed?
It starts with an M.
Wheat?
But... No, it's not wheat. It's
no.
rice, right? Wheat is not rice.
Can be rice.
I think it's like the only thing I can
Mice.
think.
Grain.
The only thing that I can think of
Isn't
that
it
you're
like
trying to talk
rye?
about. No, I don't think so. I can't.
Maize.
I can't. Yeah,
Maize,
no,
there
maize
we
is
go.
corn.
Maize.
Maize is corn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
corn.
isn't it corn?
I thought it was rice.
Yeah.
No, maize is corn.
Well,
No,
shit, I
I'm
was
pretty
trying to do my
sure-
research.
Pretty sure maize
Well,
is actually
unless there's multiple things. I've always heard that maize is corn, basically.
It is.
They're growing fucking rice. Come on.
Okay, yeah, they're growing rice and they're growing cranberries.
Okay.
Is there
Oh,
no
we need
winter
cranberries.
wheat? Okay, I have a question. Is there no
Yes.
winter wheat or no winter barley at all?
Oh, there's as you and I have discussed, there are farms that grow corn, all the other common plants, but the cash crop here is cranberries.
The kind of
But
place.
you just said it's the winter. How can they grow corn in the winter?
Jesus Christ, it's fall. It's
You said
Yeah.
it's winter. Now it's fall.
okay.
We don't
you're
have to
thinking,
pick apart every detail of the D&D
You're
setting.
I'm
thinking
sorry.
like this is. You're thinking like this is Earth.
This
This
is a
isn't
minor
Oh,
detail.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And also, what weather is it? I mean, it honestly doesn't really matter what
I'm-
time of year it is, as long as the
I'm-
weather's fine for it.
I'm
That's
sorry.
true.
I
Hey.
In Singapore, it's winter, and this really feels like it's
I'm
summer.
sorry. I
Yeah.
just. I'm thinking of. because
Sorry,
I'm
Australia, it's not really hot.
I'm a farmer. I'm sorry. I always forget.
Well, you will be
I'm
comforted to know that cranberries do quite well in the Pacific Northwest. So if it's cool, a little damp, and not a million degrees outside, guess what? We be growing some motherfucking cranberries. So thus, we be growing cranberries.
But wait, don't dogwoods also only grow at certain times?
Okay.
Gosh, I hate dogwood trees.
I'm sorry, Swift.
They grow all
the crap
along
out
the
of you.
Columbia River,
I know,
and in the
feels bad.
summertime when I'm trying to kayak, they just like drop their pollen and shit all over me. Fucking dogwoods, I hate
I
those.
don't like Oriental pears. These are the worst. That's what's around here in Alabama, and it's
You know,
literally
I
is
like
the
the
worst
way
thing
you
ever.
Gives me the sneezy wheezies.
It's
Alright,
what Rhino
anyway.
players did for me. Anyway.
So, moving from bickering agriculture to
Welcome to
planetary physics to agriculture.
guys, I'm really trying here. I really am. I'm sorry it's not good enough for all you actual farmers. Fuck.
Sorry, man. You're hating on my trade here.
Alright, so you guys ride along the fields of cranberries and all your other crops that are not grown in bogs.
no specific kind.
Yeah, totally generic, nameless crops.
No, they're just weeds. They're just weeds.
Just
Weeds, yeah.
But
fields.
wait, if it's almost wintertime, how could weeds
How can
grow?
weeds grow? Because grass doesn't grow. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. So you guys ride along for a couple hours, and every once in a while you'll pass like a small farmhouse or some like storage barn where like crates or barrels or what have you are being moved of these cranberries, and inside the farm you'll see like a family that is like having a stomp fest where they're crushing cranberries and making various jams or wine or whatever you can make with crushed cranberries, which is a lot. And you continue on your way as the air starts to cool off as the sun creeps closer to the horizon to the west. And off in the distance, you see the soft torchlight as you descend into a bit of a valley along the side of a not terribly wide, like it's a small river. But there is a village, and at the kind of center of this village, it consists of a lot of barns. There's a couple very obvious churches that are constructed, and then a fairly decently sized house, kind of centrally located in the middle of the town. As you guys begin to close the distance. You trot into town, and I would say the sun is just about to set. The sky is alight with a fiery orange and purple and dark blue. It's kind of the last rays interacting with the clouds to kind of almost say give a fair warning that night is on its way. As John, at the head of this column, leads you essentially down the main street of the town, passing various barns, stores. Okay, good to know. And other villagers that are moving about your way, or about your way. And you finally come to the gates of a very large manor. 2 stories, but it looks like by the low ground line windows that there might be a fully furnished space. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And with set up to have a very colonial farmhouse look to it. There are pillars of white marble or stone that run up along the front of the house. They don't actually support like an eave or an awning.
What? Zach?
Sorry.
You're jamming in your house there, John.
Yeah.
Alright.
There's a fucking
Is that
station.
Sycamore back here?
It's a rave.
Playing, I'm like, what the heck?
Hey, we're just a bunch of country boys and girls getting down on the farm.
No, no. I don't want to talk about field parties. Not right now. I don't want to talk about field parties.
I've never been.
I was trying
We
to
don't
watch
have
this
those.
video about this thing, and then I swore I had it muted, and then it just started playing. I'm like,
Why are you watching videos, bro? We play D&D.
I know,
Heresy.
but I was learning about
Heresy. Heresy.
All right.
I'm still
Anyway,
listening. That's why I
so
had it muted.
standing at there's like a wrought iron fence that surrounds this with a very simple kind of like kiosk or guard shack, if you will. And standing out, the kiosk is on the inside of the gate. On the outside of the gate, there is a figure in some sort of cloak with the hood up. You cannot make out the details at this range. But you essentially close the distance and all come to a stop. I'd imagine John at the point you would dismount.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you walk up to the gate, the figure in the cloak turns around and you see that it's a woman, a younger gal. And she pulls her back. What color hair did she have? Did we
Brown.
discuss this?
I think it was brown.
I think we discussed this.
Yeah, it
Hold
was
on.
brown.
Let me check.
If that boy says brown, so help me.
So help me. And
Well,
I'll
that's not a
smite
big deal.
God against
I don't know.
We're getting a little too southern around here.
I'll get
Need
the
to
power of
bring
the
it back to the
Southern
more
Baptist
northern
Church.
states. All right. Well, shoot. Do you have a quick preference?
Okay, like I said, it's brown hair.
Okay, it's brown hair. All right, fine. I get to make it up as I go then. So you see, as she has like very vibrant, I'd say mid-back length, curly brown hair, with vibrant green eyes that look at the group of individuals that are approaching, and her eyes, in an instant, lock with you, John, as a sigh of relief visually washes over her, and she runs up to you, and she takes both of her hands and she like clamps them on your cheeks and pulls you in for a deep, passionate kiss,
Ooh.
not hip, kiss on the lips.
Whoa.
And after a couple awkward seconds of you all watching and staring, she pushes you away, and the next sensation you feel is an open palm slap
Yep.
that rocks you
Okay.
almost off the ground
That
and
was
leaves
a little more
your
of an expected
cheek
reaction.
with a glowing red handprint. And she says,
Both of them are
"Oh,
here.
John, it's so good to see you, but where the hell have you been?" And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
What?
What a good ending. That was fantastic.
Whoa.
That was a fantastic.
We can be up for another hour. Come on. Now.
No.
Can we though?
Can we though?
What about some people? Some people might have work in the morning.
I have to work in the morning.
Ah,
Cedric
nerds.
has
It's
to work
my
in the
week.
morning.
Finally.
Yeah, ended right there. There's so much I wanted to make fun of.
Well, you'll to make fun of more of it when you have more
Next
time
week.
to think of more things to make fun of.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't even sent Simone in there to mess with all their stuff.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that though. I
Oh
can't-
my gosh, it's gonna be fantastic.
The furniture. Polo, the furniture, no.
Oh no.
The knickknacks.
No.
Oh no.
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
The Price's family heirlooms. Oh no.
Anyways, let's end it here. Let's end the recording here, boys and girls.
Thank
Any
you,
last words?
everybody, far and wide, young and small, or young
Build
and
that
old,
disco
big and
party
small.
Remember,
Beer-
slavery is bad.
Holders and beer holders alike, we salute you for watching our show, and we'll catch you next time.
And remember, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.
What the?
What?
End it. Hurry. With the one-liner.
The horrible
Polo,
one
can you
liner.
give something
That
else?
wasn't horrible.
Polo,
I have
What the
more.
frick?
Polo,
I
What?
know you have more. We need to end it
Okay.
now.
Okay, fine.
More, he says.
Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
Stop.
Polo,
Fine.
please help us. Polo,
And
you
Hey,
it
need
you're
before
the
it
one
gets
recording, dude.
You
End this
can't
shit.
make love without a glove.
Ah.
Just go.